cooking with the Emiya family, even though only one of them is named Emiya. For now, once they all become my wives, then they're all my named Emiya. Hey everybody, Renegade 67 and or 8 here with some more Let's Play Fate Stay Night stream of the blindish variety, where I get to spoil Wise Fool of Death because he's so used to my regular schedule that he gets salty when other LPers don't live up to my amazing constant schedule. It's all my fault. It's all part of my evil plans. You only love me and abandon all other Fate LPs. No, I'm just kidding. You can watch them too, as long as I'm your favorite. What? No, it's okay. You can love them all equally. In private, as long as as long as you tell me you like me the best, even if it's not true, I'm okay with it. What? What am I doing? What was I doing? Oh, right. I was gonna turn the voices off because we're not in a huge fancy scene. We're just cooking or whatever. Cooking with Saber. Still need to watch that. I'm sorry, watch what? The one LP that they're all talking about? I'm confused. Right. Who's here? Who should be in this scene? Turn off everyone who should be in this scene. You are the second best at this point, and if you do finish it this game... Hold on, I'm trying to understand here. You are the second best. Not that you're watching, but period. So second best ever. Okay. If you do finish it this game, that's a typo, you will become my fave. That seems presumptuous. You just assume that if I finish it, I'll be the best, because you think I'll have amazing reactions to the end stuff? What if they suck? What if they suck at the end of this LP? I could always suck. I think you're making a lot of assumptions, assuming I'll be the best. You should just say that I'm the best right now to cover your bases. What? I'm such a hypocrite. I'll say, oh, just call me the best, but then you say something like, well, once you finish it, you'll be the best. And then I say something like, well, you don't know that. I could suck later. I won't suck later. I promise. But I don't know that. If you keep this theory quality up, it will be the best. Gosh, that's how I like to think with One Piece. Endings are huge for me, by the way. In case you're unaware, I'm one of those people that endings are huge. They can't ever make a series. If the series wasn't already decent, they can't make it. But they can make a decent series really good, and they can turn a really good series... Okay, yeah. If it's a bad series, I'll have abandoned it by that point. But if it was okay, the ending can really raise it up some notches. But if it's a good series and it has a shitty ending, they can really lower the quality, in my opinion. So what I'm saying is, I like to tell people One Piece is my favorite anime, but then I'll be like, I don't know if I can say that because I haven't seen the ending yet. There hasn't been an ending yet. And there is some anime that I would normally call my favorite ending that I cannot, because I hate their endings with a passion. So it's a bit unfair to say One Piece is my favorite until I've seen its ending. Cough Code Geass. Oh, really? Interesting. You side with me on that side of the debate, then. I know people are split down the middle on Code Geass. Some people love how it ended. Other people hate how it ended. I'm on the hate side. Which is why, even though I know some people were like, oh no, don't do a Season 3. It ended so perfectly. I'm like, please do a Season 3. I don't like how it ended at all. I'd love to see more. I still haven't seen the movie. But, like... That's because I thought it was going to be a Season 3, and then it just ended up being a movie, and I got disappointed. I plan on seeing the movie at some point, but haven't gotten around to it yet. Anyways, Fate Stay Night, not Code Geass. If you don't like that, please take my place tomorrow. Fujimura cooking. I mean, at some point she should, like on some kind of weird holiday. On April Fool's Day might be the one day a year Fuji can cook unironically, because it's inherently ironically. That personality that strikes precisely at my weak point. I didn't think you were such a terrible student. Because you didn't know her in the house life. You only knew her at school. Aww, that means Rin's opening up sort of to you in her real side. Like by proxy to her relationship with Shiro, she's now showing her real side to Fujimura and Sakura a little bit. Or at least Fujimura, that's cute. Fujine reluctantly returns the pot to the table. And so, the specially prepared rice returns to the table safely. Hold on, Fujine. I cooked a lot, so you don't need to hurry. I made enough for everyone. Everyone for a long time. I would assume that would take a long time, though, because you normally cook for 3, and this time you're cooking for 5. And you cooked for 5 and enough for extra? That's a lot of cooking. That's like doubling your repertoire. Does it double the time to cook, though? I'm not the best when it comes to cooking times, but, like, if you cook 1 chicken, and you cook it in an oven or something, I guess it depends on what you cook it with. Like, if you then suddenly have a second chicken, and you're cooking it in the same zone, but you put it in the same session of cooking, whatever you call that, whatever the technical term is, does it take longer because you have them both in there at once, or does that not affect it at all? I think technically, based on how particles work, it should affect it to some extent, but I'm not sure how major that is. It might depend on the type of cooking appliance. Anyways, I made enough for everyone. Munch, munch, nom, nom. Gobble, 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 gobble. That's right, but Senpai, isn't this a bit too much? Well, no, because I gotta feed my stray cat, Saber. And also, you know, if Ryder decides to, you know, visit out of nowhere, I wouldn't mind giving some to her a little bit. Munch, 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 munch. Yes, 2 casts for 4 people is obviously too much. Munch, munch. Gobble, 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 gobble. It's also, yeah, it's not 4 people. Wait, why are we saying 4 people? I'm confused. Saber's here. Did we forget about Saber? Who's being forgotten? Who's left out? Okay, let's count. Like in Pokemon XD. Red is the first, blue is the second, green is the yellow, yellow is the 4th, brown is the 5th, red is the 6th, blue is the 7th. I miscounted somewhere. There's an imposter. Gosh, that's an awkward as hell reference joke. And if you don't get it, it's not going to be funny at all. Even if you do get it, it's probably not funny. I probably ruined it. I apologize. If you don't get it, though, hashtag play Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness. It is, like, the best Pokemon game if you like double battles and a serious-ish plot a little bit. Shiorin, Sakura, Saber, Taiga. That's 5 people! Don't you freaking lie to me! Maybe Shiro is being forgotten. Oh, Shiro forgot himself? That's just like Shiro. He didn't cook anything for himself. It's not a cask, it's a pot, and it's fine. The rice is today's main dish, so there can be lots of it. If there's any left over, I'll make some rice balls, and it'll be lunch for tomorrow. Gobble, 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 gobble. Oh, I can have some too? I usually don't like fried rice, but this is exceptional. There are lots of things in it. What exactly did you use? Oh, wait, that's right. This is the beginning of the day. Is it a new day? Did the day change? Is this dinner or breakfast? I get everything confused. Shiro just stares at them without eating. What day? What year is it? Dun, 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 dun. No, that's not the jingle at all. I forgot. I used to have the Terminator jingle down, and now it's gone. What exactly did you use? Oh, it's dinner. Okay, good. I know which meal it is. I always get these. We just left Shinji's house. I always, like, whenever we're in this scene, I never quite remember. If I've just started a new stream, I never quite remember if we've changed days yet or not. Because usually it's dinner, then a small thing, and then immediately to breakfast. There's not much break in between. Yeah, right, after skipping classes like a boss. Shiro, you skipped classes 1 day this year. F-, you fail, you're expelled. Munch, munch. Wait, did we not? That's another thing. We haven't talked to Rin at all about this yet, right? Skipping classes? Right, because we're going to wait till afterwards. Did we not even, like, you know, do a little bit of a, hey, Rin, I'll talk to you later? Did we not even whisper in her shoulder real quick? Did that not even happen at all? Did she not whisper in our shoulders? Because it's sketchy as fuck, and I think Rin would think it's sketchy as fuck. Because if she doesn't, then she's not sketching enough. Then again, she was spending her time looking for a magical user who she probably didn't find. Unless she did, and she's also going to have information for us, and we have information for her. Maybe that could be an interesting information exchange, but if she found nothing, then she almost certainly would have been confused as to where the Shiro was. Granted, we were in the same classes, but you think she would have, you know, checked in on me before going home. I think that's a normal thing, or at least it should be a normal thing. If it's not a normal thing, that should be a normal thing. You're like my bodyguard. Anyways, munch, 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 munch. It's basically rice mixed with mushrooms, right? There are lots of details, like the way it's using citrus instead of fried things for its aroma. Munch, 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 munch. I can't eat another bite. Itadaki. Fine, I'll eat it all myself then. You watch. Wait, who's eating what now? You gonna get fat? There's no fat women. Hashtag not enough fat women. We need some more fat ladies in this Grail war. I want a fat waifu. Gosh. Fat men aren't fat, only fat women are fat. Oh, it sucks because in media a lot of the time it's true. Like, you'll see some fat guys sometimes. Not just in live action, especially in live action. Sometimes live action, sometimes animated. You'll see fat people, fat guys. But then, like, girls, unheard of. You can't have a fat girl, and if you do have a fat girl, they're there to be made fun of. Sometimes the fat guy is there to be made fun of too, but sometimes not. Whereas if it's a fat girl, they're always there to be made fun of. 2019, we don't use fat anymore. We use Okay, you're gonna have to tell me the actual word because I don't speak stars. Fujine must have given up taking the pot for herself as she starts to eat really fast. Oh, we use chubby? I'm sorry. Like, gosh, Choji. I'm not fat, I'm just little. As she starts to eat really fast. Oh, we use thick? But, like, thick is like a sexual term, right? I mean, I think of, like, thick as in, oh, you have nice, thick thighs. Well-built. I never think, like, thick, like, oh, you have a nice, thick stomach that would make me qualify you as fat. I think that's a bit much, to be honest. But, exactly. What do you mean, exactly? Ah! Alright. She starts to eat really fast. Fastly eating so that she becomes fat. The opposite of insulting. Oh, so we compliment them. But what if I'm trying to insult them? I mean, I'm not, but like, what if I was? What if I said, stop being so fat? I can't really say stop being so thick. I mean, not that I would insult them, but I might. Okay, what I'm saying is, if it's unhealthy, if they're unhealthily big and I want to give them some constructive criticism, I may very rudely say to them, stop being so fat! Okay. And she starts to eat really fast. She empties her bowl quickly and asks for more in no time. I'm okay, I'm allowed to make these jokes because I'm slightly chubby. I've always, all of my life, like basically whenever I go to the doctor and I've checked my weight, I've always been just above what's supposed to be average. Like just above. Like I'm just on the cusp of being like, you're not quite what we'd call fat, but you're on the higher end of, I'm like on the high average. Like always. I go through periods of not eating much, I still end up on the high average. I go through periods of eating way too much, I still don't go above the high average. I have a really weird metabolism. Is that the right word? Am I using the right word? It won't run out even if you take it slow, Fujine. That's fine, I'm gonna eat Shiro's food so I won't give it to some stranger. So that Saber can't have any of it. Oh, because Saber does eat a lot, that's right. She snatches it away from the bowl. I don't get it. Sakura's smiling awkwardly. Tosaka's ignoring Fujine, and Saber's eating her food. Yeah, I mean, Saber doesn't really care. Oh, I think because they're thinking of the whole Saber thing. I think I understand. Because Saber doesn't really notice or care. Rin, I think, understands and feels awkward, and Sakura is laughing at it. I think I understand, but it's not as funny as I think it's supposed to be. Or it is that funny, but I'm being a bad joke receiver. I think I'm being a bad joke receiver. I think this is supposed to be a funny joke, and I'm not finding it that funny. That's my fault. It's my fault. It is not the comedian's fault. I blame myself. I put in a lot of effort to make this, but it might have had the opposite of the desired effect. The dinner that was supposed to have Tosaka admit defeat ends loudly because of Fujine's strange actions. The dinner that was supposed to have Tosaka... Wait, admit defeat to who? To you? As a cook? Wait, you were making this with the intention of her admitting defeat to you? I didn't think you cared about the whole rivalry thing. I thought she was the only one who cared. Suddenly you care? Oh shoot, he cares. Since when does he care? I guess he cares now. Interesting. Is that because of pride, or does it have to do at all with anything sexual? I don't think he's smart enough to realize that any kind of sexual play would do anything. It may, but I don't think he's smart enough to realize that. Anyways, and why does Fujine have to do with anything with this? She doesn't make food. It's all kinds of confusing. I think we're all playing. There's layers to this scene. Clearly, there's layers. Like Fujine's in her own little world compared to Saber, whereas Shiro's doing his whole thing because of cooking, which doesn't have anything to do with Saber. Anyway, scene's over. See you, Senpai. See you, Sakura. Don't get raped by your brother, who I'm uncertain of if he's actually a bad person. I think he's a bad person with you. He just might not be a bad person with other people, which I still think in general makes him a bad person. However, he could have pet the dog moments possibly. I just don't think you would be his dog. You would be his dog that you're kicking. If he has kicked the dog moment. Now, are you being the dog who is kicked in his kick the dog moments? Or are you being the dog who is petted in his pet the dog moments? Is he good except for when he beats you? Or is he bad? No, wait. Or is he... Hold on. Is he good except for when he beats you? Yeah, that's right. Or does he have some slight moments of being good and you're just one of many bads? Okay. Fujine, please take Sakura home safely. Yeah, I know, don't worry. Or it could be that Ryder was full of shit and she was just an extension of Shinji's master scheming. That could be it. I can't be tricked by my penis. Especially if Shinji's the one tricking me. Stepping lightly, Fujine holds Sakura's hand. What? Shiro, you look like you're wondering about something. Am I? Which part? He could be just slightly slapped Sakura evil or, well, I mean, yeah, of course. He could be 24/7 evil. Okay, that's a little much. I don't think he's 24/7 evil. Okay, I'm gonna be a little nice to Shinji and suggest that he's more like a 36 evil. I think that's more appropriate. What? Of course I'm wondering. Usually people can't move after eating that much. You call them fat. Really? It was tough, but it's fine once you swallow it. So you should realize the problem is that there's no limit to that, Tiger. Wait, hold on. Aren't you talking? You're blushing. You just changed your expression, so I thought Tiger was talking. Oh, the quotes ended. I didn't realize that the quotes ended. My derp. You should realize the problem is that there's no limit to that, Tiger. Because I was going to say, if Shiro said Tiger out loud, or if Taiga said Tiger, that'd be weird. This is what one would expect from a wild tiger. Oh my god, you're so rude in your inner monologue. Then again, it's fine. I judge him, but it's fine. I'm pretty rude in my inner monologue too, but I don't always say my things out loud. So to be fair, we're being kind of a pervert getting to see his inner monologue. So really, I think it's a bit rude. From this perspective, I think it's a bit mean to judge someone too harshly based on their inner monologue. Because I feel someone can have in their inner monologue whatever the fuck they want. As long as they don't put it into their outer monologue, I wouldn't judge them too harshly. If possible, I don't want it accidentally trespassing into human society. And see you tomorrow. Don't stay up late, you two. Good night, Senpai. Night, Shiro. And they leave. And then it's just me and the other two ladies. The two real waifu options. What? I see the two off and return to the living room. Okay, and now does Ren want to have her chat with me, or does she even know there's a chat to be had? I said I had to talk to them after dinner, so Tosaka and Saber are waiting in the living room with serious expressions. Oh, you did say that. Okay. Well, alright then, let's talk. Let's have a nice little chat, shall we? Thanks. So what is it you want to talk about? Do you have anything to report, by the way? Am I the only one who did any progress today? Did you make any progress, or was it just me? Am I the only smart person in this group? No. It was totally, had nothing to do with me. Shinji's the one who wrote me into it. Shinji's the one who singled me out. Shinji's the one who revealed his identity to me. It was all him. And also, I'm lucky as hell that I didn't frickin' die in that whole exchange. The fact that Shiro did not consider that at any point as a possibility means he's lucky as hell that it didn't come to pass. You know that saying of those people who live a long life of, I've lived this long because I've been so cautious. Shiro, if he does live a long life, he will not get to say that because he is not being cautious. About the other masters, there's something I want to tell you guys. Saber raises her brows a bit. As a servant, she must prefer battles where she uses her sword to these peaceful days. Oh. Well, that's rude. You assume that... I would say sexist, but no. You just think as a servant. That is prejudice. It's not sexist, though. For once. So, what? You think she prefers battles to peaceful days just because of that? I think... Yes, she prefers battles, but only because she's antsy and wants to get the Grail War, and being peaceful when she knows there's still fights to be had is likely what makes her antsy. But she doesn't want to fight for the sake of fighting, necessarily. She has a wish that she wants to fulfill. That's her goal. Therefore, the idea that she just prefers fighting, I think, is factually incorrect, even if it is temporarily correct based on the circumstances. But, anyways, her wound shouldn't have healed yet. But they did because she has Wolverine powers. Or are we talking about the Lancer wound, the internal wound? Because as far as that goes, like, will that ever heal? The wounds on her chest made by Lancer's noble phantasm isn't something even Saber can heal quickly. Can she even heal it slowly? Like, isn't it like a super duper wound that would need, like, crazy magic to heal? Like, is that ever gonna naturally heal? Because it's been several days at this. I mean, we've already waited, like, what, 4 days? Gosh, it should only take, like, 2 days for a massive internal wound of you almost dying to heal. Come on, come off it, Saber. Jeez. Thinking about that makes me hesitate telling them about Shinji. You gotta tell them. You can't not. I mean, you're lucky Shinji doesn't turn around and kill you in your sleep. Then again, what if it's Shinji's trap? But like, okay. This is awkward. Because if Shiro was a smarter person, I might recommend he try playing the field and just not tell them, but like, he's not that smart, so I think he's too stupid to not tell people, tell smarter people and get their input. I feel the same way as Shinji. I would never say that statement, at least not yet. I'm not, I don't have that fond of an opinion of him yet. I want to avoid starting fights, and I think the girl in front of me swinging a sword is, a disparate image? Excuse me while I go Google disparate. Disparate. I think I know that word, but let me check. Disparate. Disparate. Essentially different in kind, not allowing comparison. Okay. That's not what I thought that word meant. Okay. Cool. Cool. I've learned a new English word today on my quest to learn Japanese. Science. Shiro, you have something to tell us? Did they speak at the same time? Their expressions both changed at once. Yeah, right. To put it simply, I went and met with Rider's Master today. Cue coffee spilling out of the mouth, if that was a thing that could happen. Does either of you drinking coffee right now? It'd be a funny scene in the anime. Well, Rider's Master? When did this happen? Stop changing expressions at the same time. Unless you're actually talking at the same time. I'm not sure. I'm assuming only one of you is talking, but I don't know because the voices are off. Ridiculous. Meeting with another master by yourself? What were you thinking? He wasn't. He was using his Shiro mindset of, huh? Grail War? What's that? Shinji's my best friend. All I can think about is him being a friend, not think about him being a master. Hold on, calm down. It's all right. I'm not hurt, so don't get mad. No, that's not the problem. You're not hurt because you're a lucky son of a bitch. You're a lucky son of a bitch. You could have been hurt. Just because the circumstance was such that you weren't doesn't mean the circumstance that could have been such that you would have been hurt is not a very real possibility that existed that you ignored. Or rather, to ignore it, that means you would have to acknowledge its existence and then ignore it. You didn't even get a chance to ignore it because you didn't realize it existed. Do not get mad? No, I am not mad. Okay, I don't know who's speaking, but I'm not mad. I'm disappointed. I would be freaking mad. I am mad. Shiro, you're my main character. Be smarter, please. I'm only stunned by your actions. Still don't know who's talking, but that kind of makes it funnier. Me too. Well, it's no use arguing over what's done. I mean, honestly, I don't really have a distinct voice for either one, so who cares, right? Just use my female voice, and you fill in the blanks. Time for voices if we can't tell who's talking? No! This makes it funnier. So what's going on, Shiro? Tosaka and Saber glare at me with obvious anger in their eyes. Well-deserved anger. Thank you. Thank you. I feel verified that they are reciprocating the anger that I have towards Shiro. Why does he have to be my POV character? Why couldn't we just be Rin the whole game? Jeez. I thought they would say something about me being thoughtless, but I didn't think they would get this mad. You thought they would say something about you getting thoughtless? Then you were smart enough to realize how stupid you were. That seems unlikely. I don't think you're that smart. I think you're not smart enough to be that stupid. I mean, what? I met him this afternoon. You revealed his gender. Okay, you're going to play this coy where you slowly reveal one detail after the next. First you reveal a gender, then you reveal this, then you reveal that, or you just say it all at once. I only went because he wanted to talk to me, and it's not like we fought. You might have, though. It could have happened. You didn't even have Saber with you. I can tell by looking, so what kind of guy was Rider's Master? You can tell or you can't tell? What kind of guy? Well, it's Shinji. He called out to me when I was searching for the boundary field. He said he wanted to talk to me and asked me to follow him, so I went to Mato's house. And is this the part where one of them says, "That's so stupid, going to an enemy's house?" Well, I can't be Rin the whole game. Says the man who thought Rin was fucked up. Oh, she is, okay? I have to save her with my penis. That's the one benefit of playing as Shiro, is that Shiro is stupid, but he's not fucked up. And he needs to save Rin. Because Rin is... okay, it's a different levels of fucked up. Rin is... Okay, Rin is better at the Grail warring. She's just not good at real lifing. And Shiro needs to save her as far as real lifing goes, whereas Rin clearly needs to save him as far as Grail warring goes. So they're meant for each other or something. The problem is, Rin has not been doing a very good job at saving me so far because she's not very good at real worlding. And generally saving involves real worlding. Whereas Shiro hasn't really saved her because he's too dense to realize she needs saving in that extent. Shiro's not fucked up. Shiro's kind of fucked up. He's a different kind of fucked up. Shinji? You mean that Shinji? Yeah, Shinji Ikari, like from Evangelion. It really surprised me too. Yeah, Ryder was obeying him, and he knew about the... I still don't believe that's Ryder. I don't believe you! Ryder was obeying him, and he knew about the Holy Grail War. According to him, the Mato family is a lineage of magi with a history. And Rin should know this already, right? Yeah, well, that's true, but it can't be true. The Mato family is exhausted in the last generation. No matter what they do, the children won't have a magic circuit, that's for certain. Yeah, he doesn't have a magic circuit, but apparently he somehow came into being of the servant anyways, just like me. I don't have a magic circuit either. Oh, hello, Panana. They both have daddy issues. Yay, bonding over daddy issues. Have you caught up yet, Panana? Have you caught up over the... How many hours is this stream series so far? What, we're like 30 streams in. They're each like, what, maybe 2 hours average, maybe less than that. 60 hours, 50 hours, 40 hours? I'm not sure, something like that. Have you caught all the way up yet? Oh, no. Rip. Tosaka declares so. It is fate. It is fate that you will catch up. It's all part of... It's been predetermined. Shiro does not have a magic circuit. He said that he has to, like, fake his magic circuit, if I understand correctly. Like, he has to create one using some magic humbo-jumbo. Just be me and kill your sleep schedule. Oh, I'm sorry, wise fool. Ah! Tosaka declares so. If so, Shinji and Sakura really must not have magic circuits. Yeah, Shinji said that too, but he said they still have the knowledge. Something about it being taught only to Shinji, the eldest son, so Sakura didn't know about it. Wonder how true that is. In short, Shinji's not that short. Saber's the short one. What? He's a master rather like me. He said he doesn't have any magical energy, so he wouldn't be detected by your perceptions. Or he has so much magical energy that he's able to hide it because he's actually a master. Which is it really, though? I see, I messed up. Yes, you did. And I called that. There certainly could be such cases. If they have If they have grimoires remaining. Terms! Where's my Steins Gate phone to check up these terms? Gosh dang it. He'd be able to become a master. This seems like the perfect game. Like, Steins Gate's whole phone thing, I feel like a lot of those terms are so superfluous and it's not really needed. If any game needs a thick freaking thing to look up all the terms, it's this game. So many random terms that just magic wombo jumbo. If they have grimoires remaining, he'd be able to become a master. Then geez, my actions were totally obvious to him. I'm an idiot. I wouldn't call you an idiot, just... Your overconfidence is your weakness. Your faith in your penis is yours. Tosaka is mumbling, reflecting on her actions. Tosaka is close to perfect, but I think there's a few things missing. She's close to perfect. Her biggest flaw is that she assumes other people aren't that great. She assumes other people aren't as great as her, and that leads to lots of problems. Unfortunately, they're the most crucial ones. You're saying this in your inner monologue? That was a mistake on my part. I should have kept an eye on Shinji. If I'd known, I wouldn't have let him construct that boundary field. And you're assuming he's the one who constructed it? Okay, well that's the big question. Do we think Shinji was telling the truth or lying? Oh, Shinji said the boundary field at school wasn't his. He said there's another master at school. Of course he would say that. Think with your head, Shiro. Try for once to put yourself in another person's point of view and think, what if this person is evil? How would they talk to me? Would they say they're evil? Probably not. Yes, that's true. It's obvious there's another master at school who we don't know about. Oh, really? Is it that obvious? Are you sure? Well, then again, yeah, because you would have noticed if it was Shinji in theory. Which means in theory, whoever this master is someone who you just don't have close contact with at all. Whereas Shinji is someone you've had contact with. It could be a decoy, though. Shinji still could be being the evil one in this circumstance, and he may have a decoy of some kind, but, Shiro, don't tell me you're just trusting Shinji's word that he's not the one who constructed the boundary field. Yep, Shiro is, he's a little too earnest. I'm not that good-natured. Yes, you are. Go fuck yourself. As long as Shinji goes to our school, I think there's an even chance and it's his doing. The alternative being the unknown master. Really? Really? Are you sure? Are you sure you're my Shiro? I don't believe it. You don't think this much. Maybe you're bullshitting. Maybe you didn't think of that until Ren said it just now, and you want to save face by pretending like you considered it in advance. Even, huh? I think you're still being very good-natured. Well, that's fine. That's good nature is the way you are. And that must be why Shinji told you his true identity. This all seems to... Shinji would not have let him just... Okay. If Shinji is bad guy, then Shinji's trying to set trap. He knew that I would tell Ren. He would have to know I would tell Ren. And therefore, that the temple is the trap. He wants us to go to the temple, either to fight whoever's at the temple, or to trap Rin in some way at the temple. I'm thinking more that he's the cowardly type who told us so that we'd fight who's ever at the temple, so he can minimize his competition that way. That seems, I think, his play, which doesn't make him evil, it just makes him a little cowardly, which isn't inherently evil. If he's good, still though, if he's good, yeah, okay, let's say he's good. I'm going to use air quotes with good. I'm going to define good, though. When I say good, I mean he does not want Shiro or Rin to suffer unfortunate deaths out of nowhere. He genuinely cares of them to some extent, and it would be unfortunate if they were to perish. That's what I'm going to define at the moment as good. If he's good, then it's very risky for him to send them to the temple and just let them do their thing. Unless he has faith. If he has faith that they'll be able to do it, or at least he's hoping that they'll succeed, what's his afterthought plan? How is he going to deal with them after the fact? That's the question. Where is this leading? Is he planning to stab us in the back after we deal with other hindrances potentially that could get in his way? Or is he actually good and he's going to be like, hey, let's have an honorable battle where none of us masters die? I don't know if he's that good-natured. It really depends on how much he wants his wish. Shinji's shit and cowardly. People knows he's complex. Well, he's got layers. He's just, that's what the blue hair symbolizes. Layers. It's in like an ogre. And Sakura having purple hair symbolizes Fiona. Female ogres have purple. Okay, I'm making weird analogies now. So what if he thinks Rin is good? Is he good? All I care about is Shinji good? Whether or not, because here's the thing. If Shinji is bad, then it doesn't matter whether he thinks they're bad or good. That may change his tactics, but it won't change the fact he wants to get them out of the way. If Shinji is good, then okay. If Shinji is good and he thinks we're bad, then he may also still want to get us out of the way. But if he thinks we're good, then he may not want to do that. The only possibility is that he's good and thinks we're good. But does he really think we're good? I mean, okay, competent good, sure. But okay, there's two goods. Okay, we gotta separate the word. When I say good, I mean like morality-wise. When I would rather use competent to describe someone who's good in that sense, just so we can differentiate. Oh yeah, totally. Him and Lancer. I'm sure Shinji and Lancer are like, because of course Lancer is Shinji from the future, Rider is Sakura from the future, Archer is Shiro from the future, Berserker is Neko from the future. That must be why Shinji told you his true identity. Eh? Oh well, so what did you talk with Shinji about? He asked me if I wanted to cooperate with him. It seems Shinji has no intention of fighting. Of course he would tell you that. Well, okay. Okay, to be fair, you're saying it seems. I will give you that much credit. You're not saying, Shinji has no intention of fighting. You're saying, it seems Shinji has no intention of fighting. So he seemed to want to ally with someone he knew. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. The way you're wording that, okay. That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. Why the question mark, though? That must be why Shinji told you his true identity. This reveals that assuming Shiro's the one who made that question mark, this reveals Shiro's stupidity, because There shouldn't be a question mark here. He should understand that it is weird for Shinji to just tell another master his identity. So the fact that Shiro does not comprehend the weirdness shows stupidity. Oh, Berserker is Taiga, of course, because yeah, that rage, all that rage built up, and Taiga went berserk after Saber took Shiro away. It adds up. It adds up. Oh, because people keep calling her Tiger, that too. It's a double whammy. He didn't want to ally with someone he knew. Shiro may not understand his own good nature. Maybe it's subconscious. Maybe he says, I'm not that good-natured, but it's a lie. I suppose that's possible. I hadn't really been thinking of it from that angle. Like, he talks about he's not good-natured, but when push comes to shove, he does the good-natured thing, even if he thinks it's not the smartest thing. Maybe. Shiro, then you what? No, isn't it natural to refuse? I've already joined up with you. That's the weird thing from Rin's perspective. If he's joined up with you, and why would Shinji just let you walk away, right? Isn't that the weird thing? Even if I were to agree, I'd have to ask you first. Mommy, can we part? Mommy Rin, you're like my mommy. One-chan, sister, big sister Rin, can we partner up with Shinji, please? Oh, yeah, that is true, but didn't you say you refused? Aw, that's cute. How Rin's like, aw, he was gonna ask me? That shows a lot of trust. Oh, that's great. That's great. Oh, I'm starting to think of them as an OTP. I don't know if I'd call Rin best girl, but I think I'm liking the Shiro-Rin couple for sure. Even if I were to agree, I'd have to ask you first. Didn't you say you refused? Yeah, like I said, I answered Shinji on my own. It wasn't something to debate. Oh, was I too hasty?
Yes. The answer to that question is yes.
Shouldn't use those absolute statements if you're talking about characters and theories. Oh.
Only a Sith thinks in absolutes.
There, I made a reference out of it. Not particularly. I think your decision was correct. Aw, I bet you don't. But actually, you just feel so flattered that I thought that I had to ask your permission first. And you're like, "Daw." And you're like, "Oh," but you're like, "Daw." So many dolls. Well, if you were the one asked, it's not something I can complain about. What, if Rin was asked, then she would have been...
What, then if Rin was asked, then there would have been a fight to the death. Maybe that was Shinji's plan. Get them on his side without really getting them on his side.
But, like, getting them on his side enough that they wouldn't fight him out of nowhere. Maybe. The way she mumbles so isn't like Tosaka at all. What are you talking about? This is exactly like Tosaka. She has a huge boner for you. And when you said you thought you had to get your permission from her, that's all the more reason to give her an even bigger boner. That was it from Shinji. From what I saw, Ryder isn't a strong servant. What, because she's a female? What other backing do you have for that? Even putting Berserker outside of the picture, I don't think she had the same presence as Lancer. Ryder herself was more normal than I expected. That's how big, that's judging books by their covers, you gosh dang. That's big judging books by their covers. And you never even saw her mount, so what are you to know about how much she is or isn't good? What a jerk. I bet you're just judging her because she's a female, right? Just like you think she's automatically not strong because she's a female? It's your sexism coming out? Pfft. I think Rin is saying if Shiro proposed the partnership, then you'd be mad. Okay, that's fair. That's true. That's probably correct. Yeah. If Shiro proposed it, that would be weird. But since Shinji proposed it, that does make sense. Yeah, everyone's wrong about everything. That's so true. Everyone just has to get together and make out. And until that happens, everyone's wrong about everything. The ultimate goal of this game is obviously an orgy. Ryder herself was more normal than I expected. More normal? What do you mean more normal? Her outfit was super skimpy. She had a thing over her eyes. She looked so unnormal. She looked the most unnormal of all the okay, not Berserker looked the most unnormal. She looked the most unnormal of all the other servants, in my opinion. If you want my honest opinion. But hey, I guess Shiro has a different perspective as far as looking normal. If you think so, it must be true, but a servant's true power is determined by the noble phantasm, and hers is apparently an A+ according to my book. Please do not underestimate her until we find out Ryder's true identity. Yeah, I couldn't tell at all which heroine she was. See, Lancer and Berserker feel like heroes, right? What? Lancer was kind of a dick, and Berserker was a berserk. I mean, yeah, he's Heracles, but in his current state, he felt more like a villain than anything. Ryder doesn't have that feeling. I felt like she was different from a normal servant. I think that's extremely rude. To me, she gave off the assassin vibe. I think it's possible that Shinji is very much lying about her being a rider, and she could be an assassin. Alternatively, she was both. Like, she could have fit into both categories. She couldn't have been an assassin or a rider, and they just happened to stick her into the rider section, because to me, she doesn't come off to me as a rider. She comes off to me as more as an assassin or a caster. It's okay, I don't think it's that he's saying Rider feels like a villain, because Berserker feels like a freaking villain. Then again, maybe that's just inherently because Berserker is Berserker. Yeah, Shiro is too dumb. Alright, someone finally agrees with me about Shiro's dumbness. Everyone's always getting mad at me because I'm saying Shiro's a dumb. And then I'm like, no, he is. And then they're like, no. Okay, that's not true. You've agreed with me he's kind of dumb, but you just said he's great despite being dumb, and I'm like, we'll see. Different from a normal servant?
Oh, why is that?
I don't understand. Rin, can you explain Shiro's strange feeling? Oh, like she seemed under total control, but she wasn't under total control because she talked to me a bit. Before everyone is lying about the classes and are all actually sabers. They're all sabers. Oh, shoot. Gotta have a saber showdown. Everyone gets the best servant. Of course. That's the only way to make it a fair fight, after all. It might be fair, but it would be interesting, because the Grail wants an interesting fight, not necessarily a fair fight. Huh? A fair fight would be a tournament arc. Let's be honest. A fair fight would be everyone gets sectioned off. First of all, there would be 8, not 7, because 7 wouldn't work. There'd be 8 people. There'd be 8 servants. They would get sectioned off into a tournament arc, where they'd go into 4, then 2, then 1. That would be the most fair way to do it, but that's not fun. You see, it's ultimately less fair when you do it like this. When you have it as a free-for-all, it's very jumbled. It's more interesting, but it's less fair. And if the Grail wants an interesting fight to watch, if that's my understanding of the Grail's personality, then it makes sense why it doesn't care as much about a fair fight, and it just wants something fun to watch. Everyone definitely has a chance of winning, even if there is one that's better than the rest. Frickin' bias. But, because of the unfairness of the situation, the best servant could potentially get taken out first. Like, Berserker is, like, the best. And if he was in, like, a one-on-one fight, he would win for sure. But he might get taken out because of a group effort of a bunch of us ganging up on him, which isn't really fair, using fair in air quotes. However, that's not to say it's not fun. If anything, him forcing team-ups makes the whole situation more fun, potentially, from the Grail's perspective. If I understand the Grail and wanting a fun fight before it awards itself to someone. Rider would have to feel weird being under Shinji. Yeah. Are you kidding me? She's the Rider.
She'd be over Shinji, if you catch my drift.
Huh? Yeah, I think I understand. Liar. Shiro doesn't understand anything. Wait, no. Or is Ren the one saying she thinks she understands? Okay, voices. Well, it's because the master influences which heroic spirit is summoned as the servant. The master and servant end up being similar people. Oh, so we're saying... Wait, what? The master and servant end up being similar people? Excuse me? Excuse me? In what way is this Rider similar to Shinji? In what way is Saber similar to Shiro? In what way is Berserker similar to Ilya? Well, okay, maybe. I mean, maybe Heracles? Okay. Also, didn't Lancer say he freaking hates his master? So that seems odd. Unless his master is a similar type of person to Lancer, and they're just the type of people that would hate other people like themselves? So if the master's a noble person, a heroic spirit similar to them will be summoned. And if a person with a huge scar in their mind summons a heroic spirit with a scar in their mind appears as well. Heracles is secretly underaged? What? Master is a noble person, heroic spirit similar to them will be summoned. Interesting. Really? Both heroes who want to do the good for everyone. Herc and Ilya, both insane maniac. Okay, I guess that's fitting. I wouldn't call Herc insane normally, but I guess he's insane because of the Berserker status. But in that case, anyone could be a Berserker. However, for the rest of the titles, if there's some truth to this, then let's take a second and judge what that means. The Master's a noble person, a heroic spirit. I hadn't even considered this so far. However, this plays into potential theories for sure. A heroic spirit, some of them will be summoned. A person with a huge scar in their mind. Hold a sec. A scar in their mind. Let's check status and take a think about this. Ren and Archer both wear red. That's true. So Saber and Shiro are supposedly similar. Well, Saber was in the same Grail war as Shiro's daddy. So maybe there's some similarity just there inherently. But also, maybe because they're both heroic, Like, Shiro wants to save people, and Saber also sort of wants to save people based on her wish. So maybe that's the overlap. If Saber and Shiro is an accurate representation of how similar they are, though, I think they can be decently different, as long as maybe their core values are similar. The internal mental values, it's not always the case. You know what? That's fair. Kiritsugu and Saber both wanted to save the world. You know what? To an extent, I suppose there is some... Even though they went out about it very differently, I guess if we're looking at the core values, then maybe that's the case. Rin and Archer, cynical realists. You know what? That's true, because Rin didn't even have a wish to, like, save the world. Rin is... Yeah, okay. There's some sense to that. So based on this, we can maybe predict who the masters of these people are like, because Lancer's apparently lawful neutral. So that means he believes in the law, but he's also kind of... He believes in law, but he's also something of... He's something of a... He's a loudmouth. He feels chaotic. He leaves a chaotic feel, but as in, you know, but not the D&D sense. I'm sure he actually follows his alignment, but he feels chaotic in the sense that, you know, and he gets bored and he wants an interesting fight, that kind of thing, that kind of chaotic, lively. Just because people have similar cause and value doesn't mean they have to like each other. That's true. It's possible Lancer's the kind of person that, yeah, like, if people might dislike people like themselves, or they might not like themselves. Sometimes, you know, yeah. Okay, yeah, that's getting a little heavy. That's getting a little heavy for me, Wise. So Lancer is lawful neutral, which maybe says his master is also lawful neutral. Saber is lawful good. Is Shiro lawful good? I guess so. He does want to try to keep going to school and not mess that up just because of the Grail War. Someone who's more chaotic would try to mess up the Grail War once it happened. The catalyst probably accounts for who you summon, I guess, but maybe it's better if it's someone similar to your personality. Interesting. So, it's true, Shiro, if he was more chaotic, he'd be more willing to throw everything to the curve just to do the Grail War. He's not doing that, which does say something lawful about him. Lancer being neutral makes me wonder about his master. And it says the idea is that the master is also neutral. Archer is apparently true neutral, which means Rin... The idea, if we're assuming that the alignment carries over between the two, big assumption, but if we are assuming that, true neutral is so odd. Like, true neutral is so odd. Because, like, it's easier to define. It's the hardest one to really define. The idea of true neutrality, at least in D&D terms, is, it's very odd. Although Rin arguably seems to fit it somewhat. She seems kind of chaotic, but also she wants to follow the rules, but also... It's not as simple as you're half and half, like you follow the rules sometimes. I guess Rin is true neutral in that what she values isn't necessarily inherently good or evil or lawful or chaotic. She values something strongly and goes straight towards that, and doesn't necessarily... Morality doesn't necessarily come into the equation in any way, but Rin has a lot of morality. I would argue Rin is a rather moral person, all things considered. Despite the Grail War, I would argue she's not neutral. I would argue Rin's alignment would probably fall into good, based on what I've seen of her. I don't know. I don't think she goes lawful or chaotic. I don't think Rin falls into lawful or chaotic, but I don't think she's neutral. I would call her good, probably. It's also true that people who are similar are more prone to become closer. Well, it depends. Sometimes when they're closer, they tend to dislike each other. It depends on the personality, really. It depends on the type of person they are. Here's the important one. Oh, actually, chaotic insane. Does that mean Ilya's insane? I don't think actually the second part matters for Berserker, because they're always going to be Berserk. But the chaotic part, that definitely seems... I could definitely see Ilya as the chaotic one. As for Ryder, supposedly she's chaotic good. Is that to suggest that Shinji is also chaotic good? Because that's the only other good we've seen. Aside from Saber, this suggests that maybe we should be teaming up with Shinji. Because even Archer is neutral, which means Rin's not good, so fuck Rin. Apparently, Shinji's better. Again, though, it might not be that similar. Shinji is chaotic, I could definitely see. I think he's something of a tortured individual who's very fucked up based on, I assume based on some past and not just inherently fucked. But I do think he's fucked to an extent that makes him rather chaotic. Good, though. Calling Shinji chaotic good. Maybe deep down, maybe in certain areas. I'm not sure. Hard to say. However, I'm thinking about the whole her scar comment. A heroic spirit with a scar in their mind appears as well. In their mind or a literal scar? Would they get a visual scar? If a person with a huge scar in their mind summons a heroic spirit, would it be a scar in their mind or would they literally be scarred? So that makes me think again about Ryder and her motif, because I thought that maybe the thing covering her eyes and the little symbol above in her forehead was some kind of controlling mechanism that Shinji placed to get absolute obedience or some amount of obedience. However, if that's not the case, then maybe it's symbolistic of that Shinji and his mindset is somewhat similar. That he himself feels blocked off from the world or doesn't look at the world. He has a tinted view of the world, or though he thinks the world is a tinted view of him and wants to hide his face. He doesn't want people seeing the real him. I assume Rin is saying if Master has fucked up mentality, they'd summon a servant as a fucked up mentality. Yeah, but again, we have Ryder here. And I've been thinking for a while Shinji's kind of forked. And apparently she's good. And when I see good, I'm thinking, well, that can't be too forked. I mean, you might be a little forked still, but you can't be too forked. Only half forked. Maybe they're a spoon. Anyways, heroic spirit in their mind will appear. The strange feeling Shiro had towards Ryder must be that. Master with a crooked mind sometimes summons vengeful ghosts, almost like a heroic spirit instead of a hero. I mean, that's assuming that Shinji summoned someone vengeful, as if you're saying Shinji is vengeful. Whereas I'm now taking the other way around, where I think based on Ryder apparently having a good alignment, supposedly, that makes me think Shinji is good to some extent. But anyways, I guess you could be a fucked up individual and then summon a fucked up individual, but the fucked up you summon is good, whereas you're a fucked up bad person. I suppose that's possible. Vengeful ghost, almost like heroic spirits. Could that be what you were talking about before? Also, that would line up if she actually... Shiro did say that apparently Ryder seems not as strong, and maybe that would make sense with Shinji actually not having proper magic. Like, Shinji would have summoned someone weak, and therefore, if Shinji might have summoned someone weak, what am I trying to say here? And a vengeful ghost, that means maybe it's not like a servant. Maybe Shinji didn't even summon a proper servant. Maybe it's like a half-assed servant that doesn't even count as a proper servant. Maybe its rank is too low. It got summoned to the Grail War, but, Also, Right, the other thing I was saying, that I was thinking of just now, is that when Shiro, that whole time, did not have his servant with him, because Saber cannot go invisible, Shinji also apparently, supposedly, has no magic circuit. If that is true, then can he make his servant go invisible? I would assume no. Even if he knows things, if he doesn't have the magic to do it, I don't think he can. Maybe I'm wrong about... I think he's able to supply magic to her. He's smart enough to do that, whereas Shiro can't. But I don't think he's good enough to make her invisible. If he's telling the truth and he has no magic circuit. Maybe he can, but maybe he can't. And maybe that means that when he's out and about, he actually doesn't have his servant with him, which is very sketchy. However, maybe it's not that bad because his servant is Ryder, supposedly, and could probably get to him very quickly by riding something. So, maybe. Still, it's all the more sketchy for him to come up to me and make his identity known, and then still assumedly keep going to school, despite after telling someone about his identity, especially if he can't make his servant real. Now, if he can't make his servant a spirit, if he can't make his servant a ghost, would he have the theory then that Shiro also can't make his spirit a ghost? Because if he's assuming that, then that changes things. Granted, even if he thinks Shiro is a noob, it doesn't mean he thinks Shiro has no magic, because Shiro might have magic despite being a noob. I suppose Shinji doesn't know enough? In that world where he's telling the truth about sucking?
Because I'm still not completely buying that yet.
Yes, a tyrant that loves the sight of blood and thinks nothing of killing people. Actually, there are heroes with only atrocities to their legend, so it's not strange for someone like that to become a servant. Well, yeah. Everyone is somebody's hero. Even if you kill a bunch of people, someone probably wanted them dead, so to them, you're a hero. Dash. Is that so? Certainly I could only smell blood on Ryder, but she didn't seem like a bloodthirsty killer. No. Maybe that suggests something fucked up about Shinji, but maybe not bad fucked up, just neutral fucked up. I don't know if he's good fucked up, maybe neutral fucked up. If he can't, that would hypothetically be a reason for him to make the boundary field at school. Yeah. If he makes the boundary field, maybe that somehow protects him or alerts him in some case, I suppose. It seems like the reason for the field, though, isn't to alert him. It's to suck souls. However, maybe it is doing double duty. Maybe. Well, that's all there is to say about Ryder. That's not true. You've checked your status screen, right? I think, because don't you have this because Rin gave you a book? And Rin doesn't have the book anymore herself? So don't you have to, does she even know that the servant is chaotic good? Does she mentally get the image in her mind that she's now chaotic good? Do I have to tell her that? Is this for player's eyes only? Does Shiro know that the status says chaotic good? I feel like that matters. The fact that the status says chaotic good? It says good. I think that matters. Does Shiro know that, or is that only my knowledge? I don't know. That's all there is to say about Ryder. There's only one more thing, but it might be the most important of the thing about the temple. According to Ryder, there seems to be another master at the Rito Temple. I guess this master is collecting magical energy from everyone in this town. What do you two make of this? Didn't Rin say that she doesn't need the book? Maybe. But okay. Maybe she has magic to do things that the book does without the book. I feel like what she said is that she's smart enough that she doesn't need the book. Like, she does enough research that she would just know. Like, if she were to see Ryder, she might be able to know what spirit it was. To me, that's the idea I was getting, but maybe not. But if it is the case that she does not know inherently and needs to actually see them, then it would make sense for me to show him the book for a little bit and be like, hey, look at this book. But maybe, what I'm talking about has nothing to do with Matos and having mana. That's irrelevant to what I'm talking about right now. What I'm saying is that, does Rin have a magical thing that gives her information like this book without actually having the book? Or is she just so smart that she'll be able to know things without needing the book based on knowing things? If she's just so smart that she'll know things, then she shouldn't know things because she hasn't seen Ryder, so she can't take a guess at what spirit this is or yada yada yada. Because, for example, chaotic good, the only reason we think we know that is because of the book. So, if Rin doesn't know that, I think it's pertinent to tell her that. Or ask her if she knows that. Find out. Yeah, stats. Rin, do you know the things I know about the chaotic good stat screen? How much do you know about the stat screen? Do you have all that information as well? Because I think that says something about something if you do. Or if you don't. Or if I do. What do you two make of this? Rito Temple? You mean the temple at the top of the mountain? Yeah, the temple at the top of the mountain.
Ruh-roh? You mean the remple at the top of the mountain? Rah! What? Was it mean rumphing to you, Rosaka?
Of course not. It's just the opposite. I've never been to the Rito Temple, and that's why it scares you, because you want to get a head start and have done research. I've been there though, which means I'm the one who is the top boy now with all of the elite intel. I don't know what kind of a master this person is, but normally you wouldn't choose to position yourself in such a remote place. I mean, it's not that remote, and clearly they're getting a wide range. Maybe that's why they're in the remote place. Because they don't think a master's going to go there. They're going to look for people where other people are, and therefore they're going to be where people aren't, to not be looked for. In that sense, it's a decent plan. More for the player, I think. You'd think it'd be made clear to the player if this is just for them or if it's for Shiro. Because, I assume that Shiro's seeing this through this book. I have to assume Shiro is seeing all this. Because the idea that just the player is and we're not feels like spoilers. Like, I wouldn't even want to look at this screen. I'm looking at this screen under the impression that Shiro is getting to know all this stuff. But anyways, you wouldn't position yourself in such a remote place. Right, I was also surprised when I heard that a master is at the Ryudo Temple. Even though it won't draw people's attention, there are many monks living there. If they act strangely, I think there'd be a quick uproar. But it's okay, they've all been bamboozled by her beauty.
Bamboozled.
What a fun word. People don't use bamboozled enough.
Bamboozled.
I can't quite trust that story. Well, I mean, yeah, you gotta take everything Shinji says with a grain of salt. Unlike Shiro, you can trust everything he says, cause you're meant to be, and he's so trustworthy. I rhymed! Even if it was the case, Ryudo Temple is on the outskirts of the suburbs, right? To reach out to Miami City and Shinto is more like a waste of magical energy than a great magic. Such a large-scale magic is impossible, even with the magical energy collected from it. Not if it's the caster, specifically the caster. Then Tosaka starts to think with a troubled face. I hope this isn't for nothing. Like this status screen. I hope this matters. Like, I hope at some point Shiro looks at something in this book and then uses it in the outside world as knowledge. Because I feel like if he never refers to what's in this thing, then I don't want to see it. Unless it's only giving information that Shiro already knows. But that's clearly not the case, because there's no reason for Shiro to be like, oh yeah, she's chaotic good, unless he's just guessing. So, like, that's just a bunch of baloney. Anyways, Tosaka starts to think with a troubled face. I'm relying on Tosaka's opinion, so there's nothing I can do until she starts talking. You're relying on her opinion? Is it because you're not smart enough when it comes to Grail War type of things? Or, or is it because you want to rely on her deep down? No, she's the one who's really hot for you. You're not hot enough for her to know. No, I mean, you are hot for her, but you're like, you don't think you have a chance, so you're not hot for her in that way. No, that story is very plausible. Which story? If one takes that temple, such magic would be naturally possible. Uh-huh. Okay. Just throw the book in the trash!
Who needs books, right? Fuck words. I'll just read visual novels on my computer, yeah!
Saber, by that temple, you know of Ryudo Temple? I haven't taken you there yet. I guess she was there at some point in Fate Zero. I don't remember, but I won't doubt that it happened. Did you forget, Shiro? I've participated in the Holy Grail War previously as well. I'm well informed about the city. I know that the temple is a fallen ley line. Okay. Oh, it's a ley line. That makes it a biggy wiggy deal then. Fallen ley line? Hold on, that's what my house is. Why are there two foci of ley lines in one area? Two foci? God, give me a freaking lookup thing to check these terms. That's what I need a book for. Terms like this, like foci. Gosh, what's a foci? Why are there two foci of ley lines in one area? I guess that was like the old ley line for this area until it got booted by the Tosakas, would be my assumption. I do not know, but that temple is a place magic can call sacred. I hear it is where the life of the region flows to, so it would be a perfect base to collect souls from. Okay, it's where the life of the region, as in when they die, like literally souls go there, as a literal part of how this world works in death. It would be a perfect base to collect souls from. I see, but normally they're supposed to like pass on to the afterlife or something. If that's how, I mean, they're supposed to pass on and become like ghosts and stuff and spirits, and if they're good enough, they become heroic spirits, right? That's how this whole thing works. But some caster, I'm assuming, is stopping the flow of that, and as the souls are going to be normally supposed to pass on, they're taking that energy and collecting it. That's dark. They're preventing people from passing on, if I understand right. If that's not what's happening, then I feel like that should be what's happening, because that makes a lot of sense. But, Magus need only to intervene in the natural flow to collect life force. Yeah, exactly, from the whole city. I just had to read the rest of the line, yes. That is what's seemingly happening. Okay, that makes sense. I like that. I like that we're taking the spiritual, we're explaining the physics of life and death, which sort of matters for the Grail War. I love nitty-gritty like this. I love it when random, obscure, like, arguably nonsensical shit gets explained in detail. And I love the detail. because I'm a nitty-gritty kind of person. Some people yawn when One Piece gets to the part where they explain their fantastical worlds. I eat that shit up. I love it when One Piece explains the nitty-gritty of how these fantastical areas supposedly work. I've never heard of that. But if that's the case, then it would certainly be possible for someone to steal life forces from all the people in the city. Uh-huh. In other words, it's just an area that's spiritually superior, right? That's only natural. You don't build a temple anywhere else. Although, okay, it's more than just that, though. Okay, now that I think about it, ooh, that's a double whammy. It's not just that they're naturally taking the souls of people that are naturally dying, because that might be a decent amount of people. They might be going out of their way to kill more people so that there's a more influx to give them more souls. Is that related to the gas disturbances? But wait, I thought those gas disturbances weren't killing many people. It was just knocking them unconscious? Am I remembering wrong? I feel like not many people were dying in those gas things. I think that might be separate. Because I feel like not many people are dying, they're just falling unconscious. Which would be a whole separate thing, because I think they'd have to die for their soul to go to Ryoto Temple. Of course. You don't need to tell me that. Oh, I mean, I wasn't telling you that. I just assumed you knew. What, Baka? I thought so. Temples and shrines have been built in sacred places to protect the town since ancient times. It's not the monks pray to giant happiness. Oh, grand happiness, whatever. Giant happiness is funnier for me. They remove evil by sealing the ill-omened. On that basis, it's only natural that the Mountain Rito Temple would be a special place. Interesting. So they remove evil. So are you saying that when what's it called? Death Parade? But like with real people where the souls get stored in Rito Temple. I'm assuming there's a place like this in multiple places over the world. It's not just Rito Temple for the whole world. That would be way too many souls to deal with. There's probably like one hot spot in every major area. But like all the souls go to this temple. And then it's up to the monks, or maybe the monks praying, to be like, you are a bad, fucked up person. You're not getting reincarnated or going to the afterlife or whatever. And they erase them from existence. Is that what's happening? Or send them to, like, the shadow realm, and only let the good souls pass on or reincarnate, or however the hubbo-jubbo works? I don't know if reincarnation is a thing in this universe. I like reincarnation. I like the interpretation that our real life is reincarnation, but, yeah. The time when Shiro wrecks Rin in knowledge. What? Oh, because he's read his book? And knows about the chaotic good thing? Yep, that would be wrecking her in knowledge. But he would wreck her by freaking... Oh, wrecking her as in I understand. Okay, first of all, dirty joke, wrecking her. But also, second of all, he's wrecking her because he knows about the Rito Temple. I see. I was lost in my world. I apologize. And by apologize, I mean, you know you love it. They remove you by seeing the ill-omened. On that basis, it's only natural that the Mountain Rito Temple is on a would-be special place. Oh, but Tosaka's not going to like that. Because it's supposed to be, it's her place. She's supposed to have the ley line area. And she has pride in being the Tosaka and being the in charge of this area. This area is her territory. She assumed everybody was coming from out of town because this was her place. And she'd know if there was any other mages here. And she takes pride in that. And she takes pride in being part of the group that oversees the magical Hubba Bubba. However, the idea there's another ley line that she didn't know about, even if it's not really operational anymore, it bugs her. That's not okay. This is her territory. She is a Tosaka, goddammit. And a Tosaka it's not Tosaka / Ryudo. It's just Tosaka. This area is the Tosaka area. Fuck the Ryudos. So she's probably feeling a little insecure about that whole thing. I don't want to consider this, but did you think that Rito Temple was just for show? I don't know who's talking anymore at all. Rin doesn't like to not know things. I don't like to not know things. Yeah, I did. Is there something wrong with that? Until now, I thought the temple was just for show because it didn't have any practicing healers. Didn't have any practicing healers. Oh, I see. What, you thought it was a bunch of fakes? Well, maybe it's true that it's not really doing anything now. But it was doing it was doing something in the past, but it kept its soul thing. But maybe you thought it was just for souls, and you thought, I guess the souls and magic go hand in hand, but now it just does the souls without needing the magic? Magic science. It's not magic, it's science. It's not science, it's magic. No, it's magic science. It's the science of magic. That's That's how science works. The meaning of explaining magic is therefore the science of finding... The idea of science, you can't say it's not science, it's magic, because science of the magic is the science of the magic, therefore it's still science. Magic is only not science if magic doesn't really exist. The second magic exists, it becomes one with science, unless it's unexplainable bullshit. Then I guess it can be proper magic, like an index or whatever. I haven't watched Index, that's just what I've heard. The whole science magic thing, and how magic does random bullshit sometimes because it's magic, and it's not explainable. And I guess, to be fair, that's what makes it magic and not science. However, really it should be magic technology, not magic science, because technology is a thing that you can say is not... No, it is science, but you can say magic is not technology, whereas you cannot say magic is not science if magic exists. Tangents. Thaumaturgy, that's a D&D spell, is the... I literally have never heard of thaumaturgy in my life outside of D&D. Is the capability of a magician or a saint to work magic or miracles. Isaac Bonewitz defined thaumaturgy as the use of magic for non-religious purposes, the art and science of wonder-working, using magic to actually change things in the physical world. Magnets are magic, and you can't tell me otherwise. No, that's science, bitch. Yeah, science. You gotta use the positrons, and the neutrons, and the negatrons, and the electrons. Mostly the electrons. Practicing healers? What's that? People who let ghosts go to heaven without using chants, faith, or prayers. People who let ghosts go to heaven... Okay, what? I'm trying to understand your mumbo-jumbo. Without using chants, faith, or prayers. So you're saying they're good enough to send them to heaven and hell without that? Or are you saying that normally they use that to send them, but healers are ones that can do it without using that stuff? Seems silly. I would think healers would use that stuff, but I don't know. Enlightened people try to do so with just Buddhist powers, but monks without enough training haven't reached that level yet, so they add their own power to create spells like ours. They're not real magicians. They're magicians using religion, to make magic happen. So they're like clerics, or they're clerics or paladins or warlocks. More clerics and paladins, I would assume, from like D&D, where they take their power from the religion and combine it a bit with magical energy. Apparently, they're combining it with some of their own magical energy, so I suppose it's not entirely like D&D. In my, I guess it's really up for debate. It's kind of a DM's preference thing, but to me, you get all your powers from your deity if you're a cleric or a paladin, whereas if you're a studied mage, to me, my interpretation is that as a mage, you're taking the leftover magical energies like that are left behind by the different religions or all the different chaotic forces that are in the world, and the wizards are using that energy to power their spells, so they're kind of like stealing a little bit. That's my headcanon for how it works. But the idea is that the Buddhists aren't strong enough. They don't have enough metachlorians. To be fair, though, in D&D, you're just a wizard who studies spells and can use it. But this is a D&D world where there's not enough magic in the air naturally. There's not enough magic that the players, the wizards, can steal. So you need a high metachlorian count. You need to be a sorcerer. Everyone in this is a sorcerer that's using... Yeah, everyone that's a master in the Fate Stay Night is a sorcerer, like from D&D, where the magic is innate to them. It's natural. It's in their blood. However, you can be a master without having high metachlorians. You're just not a very good master. And so, what we're saying is that the monks need to tap into the religion because their sorcery metachlorian count isn't high enough. Friendship is magic. You get out of here. Friendship is science. They add their own power to create spells like ours. There's some kind of organization of those kinds of people in this country, but they're incompatible with the Magic Association. I don't know too much about them. All different kinds of organizations, oh my gosh. And so, the church, this isn't the church. The church organizes stuff, but then there's monks, and monks are not the church. They're temples, but temples are not the church. They're just separate entities that are kind of similar and do sort of similar things, but they keep their distance. Buddhists are usually monks, unless they specialize in healing or hand to spirit. Monks in D&D don't actually use magic, funny enough, but... Magical monk. That should be a sub-archetype. That should be a homebrew sub-archetype. I don't believe there's an actual magical monk archetype, but... Well, monks can eventually learn to hit ghosts as they level up, but More importantly, the temple. You don't know what you're talking about? Gosh, you leveled up, Tom. You leveled up to not knowing what you're talking about. I've been on that level forever, though, man. I'm like 2 levels above not knowing what I'm talking about. So we now have 3 big main organizations. The church, the magic organization, and the Buddhist. Right, and Kirei is somehow both part of the magic and the church because he's the fake priest or whatever. If that temple is a ley line, Master should try to take it immediately. That's strange. Why are others ignoring that place? Because there's someone taking a bunch of energy? Or because it's a fake ley line? Or it's like, it's only an old ley line, right? It's not normally used, so it's not the most powerful. Maybe. You'd think you'd be a target, Tosaka, actually. When I say this, come to think of it, wouldn't Tosaka, because her family is supposed to be the chief operator in this area, wouldn't people know of the Tosaka name and know that Rin, in general, is the Tosaka, and so they would assume that that's probably a master? In which case, Rin is likely an easy target in this war. But she probably knows that, and which is why she's trained so much, and she thinks, oh, I'm tough enough stuff that it's okay for me as an easy target. But in that case, you'd think someone would target her, and so far, they keep targeting me, though. That's the funny thing. Freaking Ilya wanted me, Shinji went after me, they're not going after Rin, they're going after me. Well, I guess everybody who targets her is now going to probably go through me, because I'm easy sauce, but I don't know. Krillin is the leader of the 3rd group. But Krillin can do the Kamehameha and stuff. You can't do that if you're a Muggle. Unless you're saying all Earthlings are Muggles, and Saiyans are the non-Muggles. Why are others ignoring that place? Besides, Tien's the real best Muggle. I mean, yeah, sure, it was the weak point, it's true. Because the Rito Temple is there, right? They keep watch so it doesn't get misused. The monks of the Rito Temple are all pure monks in training. So you're saying they couldn't stop anyone who really wanted to take it by force? Why target the one who's prepared instead of targeting the easy weakling? Exactly. If Shiro wasn't around, maybe that's part of Rin. No, that wouldn't be part of Rin's plan. She's not that crafty in that sense. She's not that maniacal. She's not that conniving. She probably... But it is arguably, you could make a plan where you get Shiro to... Rin could get Shiro on her side and then have people target Shiro so that Rin has essentially, oh yeah, don't go for me, go for the easy target so that Rin has a bit of a buffer, as opposed to them going straight to Rin. Because if they go to Shiro first, Rin has a way of learning about them before without as much surprise, without the other master going straight to them. Rin is final villain? Yeah, exactly. She's using me this whole time. Theoretically, I think should be something Shiro could potentially consider. I don't think it's at all likely because I've been inside Rin's head and don't think she's that kind of person. And even based off other things, I think there's reason to think she's not. However, based purely on Shiro's perspective, if I was Shiro, I would think, maybe it's possible. Unlikely, but maybe. But because I've been in Rin's head, I'm pretty darn sure that it's not a thing. But yeah, that is one strategy, is to team up with a weaker person so that other people go after the weaker person and use them as bait. They aren't like us, so it'd be easy for a master to control them. I mean, Shiro doesn't have that much midichlorians. No, Rin, that's wrong. Shigalyo. It would certainly be easy for a master to gain control of that temple, but that mountain has a boundary field that is inconvenient for masters. Saber's the one dropping all the information now. Gosh. You could have told us this before, you know. Like, as soon as you showed up, you could have told... Why don't you just tell us all the hotspots you know of now, Saber? What are all the hotspots based on the old Grail War that you still know about? That should have been the first thing you did. Maybe you wanted to be careful about saying stuff like that to Rin, but you should have just said it to me even before we went to talk to Rin. Well, I guess, to be fair, she was summoned immediately when Lancer was there, and then immediately Rin showed up, and there wasn't much chance. A boundary field that's inconvenient for us. How so? Yes, there's a spell on that mountain that tries to eliminate anything other than natural spirits. Okay. It has no effect on normal humans, but it's a dreadful place for us servants. Oh, so it's fine for masters, but bad for servants? So a master would be careful about going there, because they wouldn't be able to have their servant with them. I see. So it's a big target on your back. But at the same time, to go there, you'd have to also have your target on your back. So it's like, it's a place where different masters could have a master off. I do remember a couple fights in Fate Zero where it was master against master and the servants stayed out of it. One of those may have happened at Ryudo Temple. I don't remember the specifics, but I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. I just don't remember. Red is the color of devil. She even has a cross on her shirt. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, religion can also be a good religion, but it doesn't have to be a bad religion. But it's true. Ew, religion, gross. I'm an atheist. What? Eliminates anything other than natural spirits? And that means servants can't enter the mountain. Okay. Interesting. Eliminates anything other than natural spirits. So if they're too strong, they can't enter. That is actually a really good place to absorb energy then, because a servant wouldn't be able to interfere. But who would be absorbing all that energy? A master? They'd have to be a really strong master, I would think. Because a servant wouldn't be able to do it, right? Maybe if the servant is caster, then they have strong enough power to put at bay the thing that would normally kill them based on the boundary field? I don't know. It is possible, but our abilities would degrade. Okay, so you can, but you'd be like normies. Like if you came in, you'd be weak sauce, and like Saber would come in. You might be a decent sword fighter, but you wouldn't be servant level. But if everybody's a weakling, nobody's a weakling. If everybody is super, nobody is. Still gonna watch Incredibles 2. It's sitting there on Netflix in my watch list, my to-watch list. Haven't gotten around to it yet. I did watch a movie this morning, though. I watched Expelled from Paradise. That's been sitting in my to-watch list for a while. It was just a random movie on Netflix I happened across, and it was an anime movie, so I'm like, sure. I watched it. It was okay. It was fine. It was fine. Movies by themselves, standalone movies, generally have a hard time gripping me with just a movie, because it's hard for me to get invested with just a movie's runtime. But, you know, I thought it was alright. It was okay. It had some interesting messages. I liked it. It wasn't a waste of time. Anyways. And I totally watched it because it of clickbait, and I totally edited it. I mean, I definitely didn't add it to my list because the image had clickbait of a big boobied lady. No. I would have added it no matter what kind of anime it was. No, really, though, I think I added it because of a combination of big booby lady plus mech. It's a double whammy. I like the big booby ladies, and I like the mechs. I am a fan of the mech trainer, though. I haven't seen a good mech thing in a while, and this was okay as far as mechs go. Mobile Suit Gundam, roll out! It's possible, but our abilities would degrade. It's much like receiving a command spell telling us not to go near that place. Uh-huh. Okay, so that's pretty bad. So if you were told not to go there and you went there anyway, I guess it depends on how strong the command spell is. Big fuck off mechs, yeah! How is the master at the Rito Temple maintaining its servant? Indeed. That is a good question. There is no boundary field once you enter the temple. What are you trying to say? I heard the boundary field was originally a border to protect the temple. The boundary field is only something that rejects people from outside, has no other powers. So, wait, if someone summoned their servant inside the temple, like they never left, then they'd be able to do this from inside without ever having to have risked the entry in the first place. Or they just walked in and dealt with the ickiness of walking in the first place. But that gives them the advantage because they already have a strong form on the inside. But it's also a disadvantage because that means eventually they'd have to walk outside. But that's the thing. How long are they going to stay in there? Maybe they're just going to be a coward and wait in there. They're going to wait out the Grail. Like, they're going to wait for everyone else to fight each other to the death, essentially, and not leave until there's only one left. And by that time, they'll have built up so much power that, like, if nobody decides to come in, they'll only come out when they're super stupid strong. Which means we should probably go in, because, like, they're not going to come out until they're stupidly strong. So we'll essentially be letting them get stupidly strong if we waste our times fighting other people. The longer we wait, the more of an advantage we give them when they eventually decide to come out. Or worst case scenario, we actually stupidly go in once we've waited a long time. So we either don't go in, or we go in now. But I don't know, because if we wait for them to come out, they could stay in there for a long time and build energy, which is just nasty. It's all kinds of nasty. We need to deal with that ASAP, I think. They have a really big advantage, a really scary advantage. Oh gosh, but there's also the thing going on at the school. Gosh, double whammy. I'd argue this is more pressing though, because the school, okay, well, the school is more pressing in the sense that it's going to potentially eat everyone who's living in the school, and that's bad. And that's really bad. However, the temple is more pressing in that there's no end date. The school has an end date. The temple has no end date. It's just they're gonna be getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Now, will they eventually explode? That's the thing, because, like, you can only contain so much power, right? Well, no, because Archer, I think, said, like, you can never have too much, I think. We also have Elia as well walking around. It's triple whammy! We got whoever's doing the thing at the school, we got the thing at the temple, and we got Elia walking around, and she doesn't need to absorb any power. She's good enough just by default. Let's think about that for a second, because if we have someone we're unaware of setting the thing up at the school, and someone we're unaware of setting the thing up at the temple, and we also have Rin, Ilia, Shinji, and Shiro. Rin, Ilia, Shinji, Shiro. That's 4. Assuming that Shinji's telling the truth and he's not part of the thing at the school, or the thing at the temple, then that only leaves 1 extra master that we're unaware of.
Triple kill!
Anyways, the boundary field is only something that rejects people from outside, so it has no other powers. If we make it inside, there's nothing that affects the servant? That's strange. If you close the temple off like that, the ley line itself would stop. Well, they said the ley line's not really a thing anymore, right? You'd have to at least keep one way open, or it couldn't be the center of the ley line, right? Maybe it's like under the ground. Maybe you have to bury. Maybe it keeps the line throwing like underneath the ground. Yes, if you think in terms of the temple, it cannot refuse those visiting through the proper entrance. It may be following on this idea, but I heard that the road leading to the temple does not have the boundary field. Wait, what? I'm sorry, how do we get in without the boundary field? You're confusing me. At that temple, only the main gate does not have the power to command us servants. Okay, so there is an entrance. So we don't have to worry as much, but that would be that's still bad, because it means we're going to have to go in an area that they fully expect us to go in from. Because they're going to be expecting us to go in from the area where we're at our strongest. So we shouldn't go in from the area we're at. There's just 2 ways to think about it. Go in from a weak area if you want the element of surprise, or go in from the strong area and just hope you can deal with any kind of ambush, because there will inevitably be an ambush. I see, that must be it. If you close off all the gates, the air inside will stagnate. Only the main gate, huh? Yep, there's a choke point. Ambush spot. That's all that I can tell you. So please come up with a plan. We have proven that there's a master, so I believe there's only one action to take. Yeah. That's the problem, though. Do we go now, or do we wait till we dealt with the school? Because the school, if something goes wrong, and we, like, die before, or we get, if we die before we can deal with the thing at the temple, and the thing with the school goes off, then whoever this bastard is that's doing the thing at the school is going to eat everyone inside, and that's bad. That's really bad. And we should probably try to stop that as genuine good people with the moral compass. Our first priority, in theory, should be to stop that from happening. And then once we've stopped that from happening, stop the really evil thing, then we worry about the thing that's not really evil, just really threatening to us as far as Grail War goes. So it depends on how practical versus moral we want to be. Practically speaking, if morality is not a question, the first thing to do should deal with the temple, and then school second. If morality is on the table, we should be doing the school first, and then temple. What if the same master is doing both the temple and school? Then that master is gaining a lot of fucking power and is probably using one or the other as a decoy. It's hard to tell which. Or it's like a double entendre of, like, it's like a Batman gambit, like either one could be the decoy, like they're genuinely using both, but then once one gets taken, they'll just go to the other one and go to that as their main one. Could be a plan, which is, you know, kind of insidious. I know what Saber wants to say. Her eyes tell me that since the location of the enemy is known, all that's left is to attack. Which enemy, though? You sure we shouldn't attack Shinji? But, oh shit. Form the plan of attack? I'm gonna pass on this. Rin's passing? Right. She doesn't want to risk herself at the temple and then not deal with the school, because I think Rin has the moral compass attitude. I think Shiro also has the moral compass attitude. I think Saber, despite being lawful good, really wants to win the Grail War. So, seems like a trap. And honestly, yeah, it does seem like a trap. It seems like a trap. And also, it could be Shinji's trap. There's also that. It could very easily not even be the master who's positioned there. It could very easily be Shinji's trap, because that's a perfect place for an ambush. It seems like a trap, and honestly, I can't take any action with this little information. If you're going to go to their home ground, you should at least wait until you find out what kind of servant they have. Yeah, I don't know if I feel comfortable going without Rin. I feel like if we're going to go, especially if there's an ambush, we should go together. Whether we go through the front gate or go around where our servant is weakened, we should definitely go through together. If one of us is in theory going alone, I just think we shouldn't do it. I think it should be both of us or neither. She's as reckless as Shiro? It doesn't seem like it. Oh, you mean Saber. Okay, you say she. You're not specifying. I thought you were saying Rin. Rin can be rather boisterous, but she's not really reckless. At least not as openly reckless. Saber, maybe their personalities are similar in this sense. I don't think it's recklessness, though. I think it's confidence, but only I think it's not misplaced. That's the thing. I don't think... Okay, I guess to be fair, recklessness... The idea of recklessness is misplaced confidence. I think Shiro's confidence is misplaced. I don't think he has any right to be this confident. Whereas Saber, I think, has every right to be this confident. She believes she can do it, and I think she's right. Whereas Shiro, I think, believes he can do it and is wrong because he sucks. Yeah, the ticking. In my opinion, we should wait until Archer recovers. Yeah, where the fuck is Archer? Oh, Tom's Tom, don't pass out. What? Anyways, at least wait until you find out what kind of servant they have. That's unexpected. I thought that you would go and fight. I think Rin has the moral compass of not wanting to risk the thing going on with the school, and also she probably wants to deal more with Shinji. She's not, you know... She plays speed chess, and I think she's playing speed chess in the moment and thinking from Shinji's perspective, and... oh, you're just making a dad joke? Okay, cool. A dad joke received. 2 servants versus 1 is always a good fight. Unless 2 servants are depowered and 1 isn't. Go ahead and insult me. Archer isn't fully healed yet, so I'll remain a spectator for a while. He's still healing. God, Saber, you really fucked him up. Are you going to apologize? Archer still isn't fully healing. Is that going to be like your... Maybe that's going to be your ace in the hole. Maybe you're using me as bait. I don't know. I don't think you actually are. But in theory, she could be. Where Archer is healed, and she's using me as bait and telling me Archer isn't healed, so I can spread that around like the naive Shiro I am to other people that Archer isn't healed, only for them to think Archer isn't healed, and then Archer's actually going to be healed. Or something. Saber is weak with no power and was injured. She could be reckless considering that. I suppose, but she's still way better than Shiro. And also she is fighting with a shitty master. That's also fair. And she has a limited power supply. But that's also part of it. She has a limited power supply, so she wants to use it while she still has it and not let it drain. Because she's, honestly, Saber's on a ticking time clock in general with this war. Because the longer she's just out and about and not doing things, the more power is just sipping away with no way to regain it. So, well, I guess you can regain it through food a little bit, but... But anyways, Archer isn't fully healed yet, so I'll remain a spectator for a while. I understand, then sure, let us go to the temple by ourselves. No. If we're going with Rin. This is not a one-man operation. This is a tricky business. This is either an ambush or we're going to be depowered. And we're already depowered. We cannot do this alone. Are you stupid, Saber? I guess you're just confident. Which is synonymous for stupid sometimes. But like, no. Without Rin, this is too much. Even with Rin, it's risky. But with Rin, I think the risk is worth taking. Without Rin, I think no bueno. Dash. Damn it, Shiro's exactly the kind of person that would agree. But maybe not, because maybe he wants to deal with the school? Saber says this as if this is a natural thing to do. Do I get to choose? But that's... Oh, boy. Do it alone, reckless, stupid Saber. Oh, God. I already know my choice. No thanks. Seems stupid. Shiro was already the stoop when he went into a master's base without my say-so. Now I have the say-so. And no penises are involved. Also, if we're to talk about Rin versus Seba, I prefer Rin, and Rin is the one declining. Seba's the one saying yes, so I think I'll decline. If that's that route, I do prefer Rin. But even ignoring that, practically speaking, save. Hey, see, Shiro has the choice of being smart once in this... Yeah, don't fight. No, I feel the same way as Tosaka. We shouldn't go there yet. What? Are you saying you'll not fight either? It's not that simple. Like, I'm weak sauce, You're still recovering. Like, without Rin, I feel this is no bueno. This is almost certainly an ambush of some kind. It's, okay, yes, it's true they're probably building power in there, but like, we should go in and gangbang them. Like, go in with Rin and Shinji if he's willing, all three of us, and gangbang them. I mean, heck, if we have Shinji with us, then it's less likely he's setting up an ambush. Because if he's setting up an ambush, he's probably there. So, if we go there without him, there's a chance he's setting up an ambush. So, I don't know. Anyways, though, are you saying you'll not fight either? No way. What was I resting my body for until now? Not for this. For Berserker. For frickin'... I say we wait until Rin's recovered. We also have to deal with the thing at the school, right? Now we know where our ambush is. Enemy is. We have to attack. I get it. I get it. You're being overly zealous, Saber. You're being overly zealous because you haven't had a good fight in a while, and you have a bunch of masters that you know about and you're not doing anything about. Like, you know about Rin, but you're not fighting Rin. You know about Ilya, but you can do nothing about her. You know about Shinji, and we're still attacking Shinji. That's always an option. And there's the whole Blood Crest thing, but we haven't solved that yet, so you're getting really impatient. I get it. I totally get it. I get it. Wait. 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 To paraphrase Critical Role. Paraphrase? I know that, but we have to wait, Saber. Yamete. If the Master of Yuta Temple is that careful, there'll certainly be a trap. It'd be suicidal to go there without any plans. Oh gosh, you're speaking in stars again. I don't speak stars. It's an ambush. Stars. Stars caster? Stars the witch. Burn the witch. As Tosaka says, we should at least wait until Archer is healed. Such danger is normal. I have never expected to earn victory without getting hurt. Well, I mean, yeah, but still, though, you should at least try to do things a little underhanded. I guess that's the way that you did still differentiate from Kiritsugu. He was definitely underhanded. You seemed more noble. This isn't being noble. This is being reckless. Being noble would be trying to save somebody. There's nobody's lives are even on the line. It's not like you're even saving anyone and putting yourself at risk because of that. You're just putting yourself at risk because you're gung-ho and want to get your wish fulfilled. And you're sick of waiting. I didn't really get this impatient feel as much from Fate's Zero. But to be fair, even assuming that it's all in character, this could be development. She failed once 10 years ago. She's finally been given another chance. I could see her getting more impatient this time around. So, it seems like a next step, a logical next step. Even if the enemy traps pierce my body, I can fight as long as I do not give them my neck. What if they get your neck without you giving it to them? It's not like they will politely ask you for their neck. It's enough if we can beat the Master, no matter what injury I bear. And, of course, it's enough if we beat the Master. Before, in Fate Zero, you were more, you tried to be a bit more honorable about it, but now you're like, no, go for the Master. That's the easy point. Go for the Master. Go for the Master. I need to fulfill my wish. Go for the Master. Kill all the Masters. Kill all the teenagers. What? Don't say such stupid things. It's never okay to get hurt. It's fine to go knowing the danger, but such a suicidal attack is stupid. As your Master, I can't let you do something so dangerous. Oh gosh, don't ask me to use a command spell. Please don't. We haven't used one yet, stupidly. Let's keep the streak up. That's right, going to the Rito Temple is certainly a suicidal attack. There'll be some obstacle on the only road... My words are slurring now. On the only road heading to the temple. It's fine to accept that and go, but heading there without any plans is suicidal. Suicidal. You're suicidal. No matter how strong Saber is, she has me as a handicap. I mean, in multiple ways. Giggity question mark? If she pushes herself and fights, and if the result is... Oh, it's the Flash again. Oh gosh, the best kind of fan service. Hubba hubba. Just like what happened at that time, I can't agree to that. Shiro acting strategically, only because I made the choice. Shiro wouldn't have this silly strategy if I didn't choose for him. He'll sometimes do stupid things without me choosing, but he'll never do smart things. Just like what happened at that time, I can't agree to that. What are you saying? Which one? Voices are still turned off. Look, Master. Oh, you said Master, so it's you. Although I wouldn't be too mad if Rin said it. Look, Master, servants are meant to get hurt. Servants are made for fighting, not fucking. All choices are Shiro? Yeah, but, like, some choices aren't even choices, and they're still Shiro. Therefore, maybe all choices are Shiro, but the ones I make are me. So 7, 8, 9, Shiro 8, no, Renegade 8, Shiro. What? Look, Master, servants are meant to get hurt. Shiro want to protect Baby. Saber want to just attack and doesn't consider life. Yeah, Baby. Oh, I get what you just did with the wording. Shiro wants to protect Saber. And Saber, I don't think she's not considering it. I just think her values are skewed. It makes sense how they've gotten so skewed, though. Fate Zero did fuck her up. Look, Master, servants are meant to get hurt. I'll not allow my master to avoid a fight in fear of that. Can't take responsibility of his smartness if you don't take responsibility of his dumbness. Look, man! I take responsibility of any choice I make so long as I get a choice and they aren't all stupid. It doesn't matter if you don't allow it. If you're going to push yourself... Who's talking? I will not allow my master to avoid a fight... Wait. I will not allow my master to avoid a fight in fear of that. I'm not avoiding a fight in fear of you getting hurt. Okay, now we've got skewed wishes. You see, I'm avoiding a fight because I don't want us to all die because this is stupid. But Shiro, if he's avoiding the fight because he doesn't want you to get hurt because of his boner, that's a whole nother thing. It doesn't matter if you don't allow it. If you're going to push yourself, I'll stop you as many times as necessary. Wait, hold on. Who's talking? It doesn't matter if you don't allow it. That sounds like a thing Saber would say, but I think it's actually Shiro. If you're going to push yourself, I'll stop you as many times as necessary. If you don't want that, heal yourself quickly. You're not fully healed yet, right? You said that in front of Rin? Uh-oh. Shiro did say that going for the temple is suicidal attack. Yeah. So maybe it's... I mean, it's both. But maybe Saber is thinking from her perspective after knowing... Ooh, interesting theory. Saber is saying from her perspective that Shiro thinks that he's doing it because of the boner. However, maybe Shiro never brought up the boner. Therefore, the fact that Saber brought up the boner means she's has it on her mind. Because she is now very slightly subconsciously starting to want my penis. Yes, you will want my penis. You will want the Renegade Shiro penis. It should not interfere with my fighting ability. There is no need to consider prolonging a battle due to my wound. I think it's at least worth considering. Saber's will to fight does not change. Dash. Jeez, why doesn't she understand even after I tell her this much? To be fair, you've done some stupid things without, despite other people saying things like, revealing Saber to the other people is kind of dumb, and yet you did it anyways, so... You're both kind of reckless in that sense, so... You are alike, it's just that the things you're reckless for are different, and when that happens, you're bound to butt heads. Okay, fine, but I can't agree that easily. Wait, what? What do you mean, fine? I said no! Yamateko desai? You lost to Berserker before. Are you going to push yourself and fight and get both you and me defeated again? Oh, he went there. He pulled the Berserker card. Don't kid me. I don't want to be killed that miserably ever again. Oh, shoot. Oh, you're being selfish for once. Which is nice, because usually you're selfless. This time you were selfish, though. Don't kid me. I don't want to be killed that miserably ever again. Oh, I thought it cut off, but it didn't cut off. Not quite. Dash. So, I thought she would argue right back, but instead she takes a breath and, maybe actually saying that he cares about himself and not just her will actually change her mind, because she should care about her master, and she does, especially if she slightly wants my penis. So the idea that okay, I think that makes sense. Because she thought he was just caring for her, and caring for her too much, and not liking how much he cared for her, she decided she wanted to be persistent and go through with it despite his care, to show that she can handle it, as a way of proof, and to not have the sexism. However, now that he's saying it's more about himself, or at least in part it's about himself, she will now consider that more genuinely, because that's how the relationship should be. Or is she going to be taken super aback and be like, you coward! No, she shouldn't do that. In theory, she shouldn't do that. However, if she does do that, then that shows her wants of the Grail, temporarily at least, outweighing her contract with Shiro. Bringing that up is unfair, Shiro. Why? I almost got killed. That's very fair, and I don't want to get killed again. It's very fair. Ooh, the fact that you say it's unfair shows your lawful nature. If you were chaotic, you would say fuck it and just go. But you're lawful and want to abide by our contract with me. But you don't want to. But you will, but you don't want to. Because you really want to go there. But because now I've brought up how I don't want to die, and that's a normal thing that's part of the Grail War, is the Master not wanting to die, it is kind of unfair. It's also kind of unfair because she's the one who healed me from near death. However, did she have to strain herself to do that, or was that a natural thing? And if it was a natural thing, did it strain her while being natural? Probably a little of both. Because if it did strain her, we should probably thank her for that. Did we thank her? If we didn't, thank you, by the way. She says as if apologizing. I'm sorry if I'm being unfair, but I won't be attacking anyone yet. And, you know, for once, I'm making a decision as the master and not just going along with my servant's opinion. I can't just ignore the master at Ryota Temple either, but we're in no condition to fight. If we fight like this and lose, who will stop the master at Ryota Temple? Shinji?
He's a pussy. He's a weak-ass master. He'll just get clobbered. Ilya? Maybe, but do we really want her to win?
Look, we'll be attacking only after your wound is healed and we're in perfect shape. If you have any complaints, go find yourself another master. Oh god, don't say that. You're lucky that she won't do that because she's lawful, but like, oof. It's nice though. For once, Shiro's actually stepping up and taking the master position. I can respect this a lot. And he's only doing it because I fucking chose it. If I chose the other way, he wouldn't have done his first master. If you have any complaints, go find yourself another master. Aw, is she blushing because, I wonder if she's just, it's probably a combination. Multiple things going through her head right now. Like, she's sad, but she's also blushing because, it's a combination, because, like, she likes me, and getting talked down sucks because she likes me, but also, I'm her master, and finally acting like a proper master probably makes her proud a little bit. But she did want to do this, so she's sad because she wanted to do this. But also seeing her master, who she likes, talking up makes her proud, and also makes her want his penis. It's a combination. It's a Goshu Jujumama, whatever you just said, Padama. If master says so. After answering in a quiet voice, Saber falls silent. Tick, tock, tick, tock. Tick, tick, tock on the clock. Everybody get your tits up. The conversation is over. Tosaka's returned to her room, and Saber returns to her room as well.
All right, for once I feel like the man of the house. Yeah. If I'm the man of the house, then maybe I should do something tonight while I'm still in the mood to be the man. You know, if it's still hard. I assume it got hard after that. Was it as hard for you as it was for me, Cheryl?
Staying alone in the living room, I really regret what I did. No, don't regret. Believe in your manness. You made a man choice. You were the man of the house for once. Look, I'm not saying you should always be proud of being a dick, but sometimes hard choices have to be made as the leader, and being a master means inherently you are the leader to some extent. A leader, at least in a relationship, too. Learn how to be a leader. And I think what you just did was being a leader, so regretting what you did means you still have a long way to go. It's too late already. I could have put it another way, so why? Here's the thing, if you're really a leader, and you really regret it, change it. You're the leader, you're the one who can change it. Being a real leader means recognizing when you're wrong and knowing to change course. But don't regret what you did unless you're going to change course, as far as I'm concerned. If you're going to regret it, then do the other thing. If you're not going to do the other thing, stop regretting it. You made the choice, stick to the choice. Or change your mind, but don't regret it and not change your mind. I could have put it another way, so why? Why could I only convince her using words that make her look like that? Because she wants to do it so badly. Don't you get it? She really wants her wish. She really wants to do this. She's sick of waiting. There's so many matches she could fight. And she hasn't gotten a chance to fight them yet. So she finally gets one that she thinks she can fight. And she wants to fight. She wants to fight. And you're not letting her. So of course she would never walk away from this not unhappy. Just stop regretting. Yeah, just stop regretting. Easy peasy. Just become more of a dick and not have a moral compass. Easy peasy. Get rid of it. Just throw it away. Start beating her while you're at it. Then you'll be more like Shinji. After all, Shinji has a good servant. He's probably a dick, so you can have a good servant despite being a dick. I don't want to make you cry. Interlude. Interlude? Other perspective? Interlude. You mean other perspective? Other perspective? It's a quiet wind this night. Is that what an interlude means? Holy fuck. What? It's a quiet wind this night. The time is past midnight. Okay, I'm going to turn all the voices on because this might be a voice of a person who is things and I want to know things. Is this Saber's perspective? Is she going to feel bad about things? What's happening here? Holy balls! Interlude? Oh, you spell it the best way, Tom. You're great. What is going on here? A settled darkness. The time is past midnight. Okay, I hate to... I want to get through this whole... I don't know how long the interlude's going to be. Okay, I'm going to real quick. I'm going to make a save here, and I'm going to do a quick BRB, because I have got to pee. But interlude, what is that? Interlude? Nan desu ka? Lude to be entered. Okay, save, and real quick, we're going to BRB, because I got to pee real bad. I got to pee like a motherfucker. Are you ready for the summer? Are you ready for the sunshine? The something some, the snow outside, the song is inappropriate. Holy what? What's happening? Oh gosh, look at all the comments. All the midstream... Look at this man spin. Beyblade. Kicking up speed, going head to head. You fall down, and get back up again. Let's Beyblade. Oh man, that's nostalgia, right in my nostalgia. Then again, I wish I had a plate with refilling candies. You'd probably get sick, especially if you were spinning so much. Infinite sugar. You can solve world hunger. Ew, but if it's all sugar, that might be a problem. 20 cubes of sugar a day keeps the doctor away. Wait, no. Scratch that. Reverse it. Super sugary candy. Oh, to death. To diabetes. Or maybe it's piss, since he said he was going to go pee. Oh, shoot. Maybe the cubes are made of pee? Ew. Welcome back to myself. Welcome to me. Welcome to me. Yeah, also, I don't know where the state is of the world with everybody else. But for me, personally, it's snowing outside now. It started snowing today. So, yeah, which is... pretty understandable. Start of November is roughly when snow starts. Sometimes it starts in October, late October. So this seems pretty normal of a time for the snow to start. It generally lasts till about March-ish. Go make a snow angel. I'm in the middle of streaming, people. Gosh. Maybe if I had a face cam to record my snow angel... haha, I was firing her. Okay, let's actually continue, shall we? It's a... Okay, yeah, because this is an interlude. What the fuck? My only assumption based on an interlude is that it's from someone else's perspective, not Shiro's. That's my thought. So let's... Okay, it's a quiet wind this night. The time is past midnight, a settled darkness. The town is like a dark sea that only has moonlight to illuminate it. The clouds are moving. I don't see that, but I'll believe you. There's no wind at ground level. Okay. But way up in the sky, the air is roaring and letting the overlapping clouds flow. Okay. There is some wind. Oh, is this Saber's perspective? That was my guess. Is this Saber? Maybe she can hear the wind. Wait. Okay, what? No. No. Okay, this is... If it is her perspective, it's not a first-person perspective. Looking up at the wind in the sky, she mutters quietly. Maybe Saber thinks in third person. The one standing quietly in the yard glaring at the sky is a girl called Saber. Oh shoot, are we gonna get some Saber lore? Some hot, juicy Saber action? Her golden hair is beautiful even in the dark night. Dark night! Ugh! Dark night rising revengeance! And her clear green eyes are watching the appearing and disappearing moon. Okay. Dash, 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 dash. She casts a glance to the corner of the yard. Okay. There's an old shed and her master is sleeping in the shed. So she knows at this point that her master goes to the shed and sleeps in the shed sometimes. As long as Saber's aware that happens sometimes. It doesn't matter if you say you don't want to fight. Well, he could have chosen to get out of the Grail War and chose not to. Granted, at the time, Melia would have killed him, so really he could go back and choose to not be part of the Grail War now, but he would have to know that the alternate timeline killed him and have waited until not to be killed by the timeline to get out. However, really, that's an effort of futility until Ilia's feel has been completely taken care of. She's just going to kill me in a different timeline, I'm sure, if I decide to get out of the Grail War. Anyways, though, it doesn't matter if you say you don't want to fight. Oh! A clang. Which clang? Who's clanging? The echo of steel melts into the night without reaching anyone. Oh, she wants to fight? She wants to practice? She wants to fight something? She's getting edgy? She's getting itchy. Itchy is the word. The moon disappears and appears. Yeah, you said that already. You're very fixated on the moon. I wonder why. Does it have to do with the whole Fate's Day night? Are you fixated specifically, or is this just the narrative being poetic? Or is she specifically constantly looking at it? If Saber is always looking at the moon, maybe that says something about her perspective on the moon. Maybe she's a big fan of the moon. Maybe she likes looking at it. Maybe it reminds her of herself, like how her real self is always hidden because she was pretending to be a guy for a long time, but she's actually a girl. So maybe like the sun is the guy Saber and the moon is the girl Saber, and people see the sun, but they generally don't see the moon, and they don't realize that the moon is the truth. What that means is that the moon is the real sun, and the sun is the real moon, and we've been thinking about it all wrong this whole time. Science. Fighting evil by daylight, something something by moonlight, never running except in the intro. She actually runs a lot. The moon disappears and appears. In the instant the clouds in the sky float past, the girl's appearance is completely changed. Oh, Tight Moon, that's fitting. It's not Sailor Moon, it's Tight. Ha hee ha hoo. Hoo hoo. That's funny. Okay, which girl's appearance? You mean Saber's? Heavy hard silver armor. Oh, is it an illusion? Wait. So the what? Because we never asked about her clothes. We never asked about how she got those clothes. I thought that they were just going to tell us anyways, but no, we didn't ask and they never told us. Is it like illusion magic? Has she been wearing her armor the whole time? And the clothes are like an illusion? Or, no, if it was that simple, I'm not sure. Maybe. I don't remember. Or maybe the armor can go invisible. Like, she can make the armor invisible, and she put on real clothes underneath, but she can summon the armor, which might make sense with the fact that she has an invisible sword, so she can make her clothes invisible.
Make your clothes invisible without anything underneath. Hubba hubba.
Her figure covered in blue clothes is not something you can call a girl now. I'll call it a girl. Fuck you. She's still a girl. She's still a female. Female. Impregnable events is made from magical energy overpowering others. Well, not overpowering anyone at the moment, but sure. Invisible sword hidden by magical energy beyond human levels. That figure, said to be invincible on the battlefield, proves their existence to this day. Said to be invisible on the battlefield. Okay. Are you proving your own existence? Is Saber proving your own existence? Is she just like her sword? The real self being hidden? Yes, Fee-Man. I coined that term a while ago. I got in trouble. Gosh dang it. I got in trouble for saying that in the chat somewhere. I've been saying the word Fee-Man for a while. Female plus woman, Fee-Man. And I freaking said that in someone's chat and I got banned. They thought it was like a huge insult. In which case, I'll be more careful about saying that in other people's channels from now on. But in my own channel, I am all of me. Tony Stark is a girl. Oh my gosh, that's the biggest of plot twists. You could also how she got clothes. Yeah, I could have asked her how she got clothes in the dojo,
but I didn't. Which means forever I can just assume that they're not real clothes, they're imaginary clothes, and she's been naked the whole time.
Even with the invisible sword, Her Majesty proves that she's an excellent swordsman. Oh, you called her Her Majesty. Whose perspective is this? Is this how Saber views herself, or is this like the perspective of... Her Majesty proves that she's an excellent swordsman. That is why she is Saber. The one said to have the greatest power of the seven servants, the hero of the sword. Fucking biased just because they made it to the end 4 times. You call them the greatest servant? Whatever. They're okay, I guess. A knight among knights, true to decorum and acting on its master's orders. Whatever the other heroic spirits may be, she is an ideal swordsman who will not disobey her master. Even if she wants to. That's what makes her lawful, though. Not disobeying when she wants to is what makes her lawful. Dash. But that ends today. What? Excuse me? Huh? She is hereby disobeying her masters. Are you going alone? What? But like, you're just gonna go without me. Okay, don't die. No, seriously? You're just not gonna tell me and go while I'm sleeping. Wow. She's really itchy. She's willing, okay, Shiro said that he doesn't want to nearly die, so she's just gonna leave Shiro out of it and go on her own. Holy smokes. Okay, don't die while I'm sleeping, please. Yeah, that's fair. Shiro did say he didn't want to die. And the response is, okay, then you won't come. I'll just go. She is really itchy. She's really itchy. Wow. She wants this so bad. She wants, I don't know if it's the wish, the fighting, oh gosh. She wants to take someone out of the equation. She wants to make some kind of progress. As far as she knows, all 7 are still remaining. She even knows of a couple of them and hasn't been doing anything. So the chance to do something, yeah, reckless, definitely defines her in this moment. I don't think it's about proving anything to anyone. Maybe she wants to prove that she's a real woman to be taken seriously, and not someone that needs protecting to her master. But that seems to have already gone over when Master said that he was worrying more about his own life. That seems to have gotten the message across somewhat to Saber, and you'd think Saber... Yeah, so I don't think this is about proving anything to anyone. I think this is all about really, really, really wanting Rish. Yeah. Yeah, okay, it's true. She could potentially want to prove herself to Shiro, want to prove that she can do things, but I don't think that's not how I would look at it. I can see that perspective. But I don't think she looks down on herself for losing that fight. I think she sees that as, oh yeah, Berserker is strong. And this Berserker is just something I'm going to have to deal with later on. I don't think she is worried about her own abilities or proving anything. Especially after, she did so well in the previous Grail War. Granted, she didn't get all the way, but I don't think she's at all concerned about her own abilities. She just really, really wants her wish to come true. And just getting really impatient is my thoughts on the matter. No, she's not disobeying her master. She has considered how to make her master win. The result of her decision is this. She's lying to herself. If she thinks that this is the best way to win, she's just being impatient. Yeah, she was dealing with that wound fighting against Herc. She's good. She's good, and she knows she's good, but I don't know if she's this good. But that's the thing. She's not thinking about, oh, what if I lose? She's not even thinking that way. She's thinking, if I go in, I can take out someone. I want to take out someone. Consequences? What consequences? I'm the main character, pretty much. No, wait, that's Shiro. Can he switch masters? Is that allowed in Fate Stay Night? No, I'm the main character.
Am I the main character or Shiro? The eternal debate. Is it Saber or Shiro?
Well, Shiro's the perspective character, but Saber is the ultimate waifu. He's too easygoing. He'll just be killed by another master like this. I do admit, him going to Shinji, I even said so myself, was a dum-dum. So, he could have definitely been killed there. So, maybe you should move like this on your own, but that's very untrusting of your master. You need to form some trust. You need to form a bond. You can't be doing things that the master says no. Are you gonna disobey your master? Give me your alignment sheet, goddammit. Where's Saber? Scratch the lawful part off and just leave good. You don't deserve to be lawful anymore. But her master this time will not be able to fix his personality. That's some weird wording. So, is this just omnipotent narrator, or does she actually refer to herself in third person? Because if she does, that's funky. I mean, I don't think she refers to herself in third person out loud, but maybe internally. Even that's kind of interesting. It'll be her role to devote herself to being heartless for the sake of her master. That's kind of backwards, actually. It's interesting. Because Kiritsugu did some really underhanded, dirty shit and Saber didn't like all of it. But now, Shiro is super good-hearted, and maybe Saber sees some of herself from the old war in Shiro, and doesn't want him being corrupted the way she is sort of corrupted, but is also sort of giving into the corruption by doing the dirty, underhanded things. It's a mix of third and first. Yeah, it's weird. But, I believe the technical term is first person, no, third person, no, what is it? It's the same technique the Harry Potter books use, where it's from the person's point of view, but it refers to them in third person, but it's still using their knowledge. I forget the technical term. It's like first person limited, third person limited, too many persons. It's limited. Yeah. Anyways, so it'll be her role to devote herself to being heartless. If the master's not going to fight, his sword will have to fight. It's just weird to switch like this, because when it was Shiro, it had I and stuff. Whereas here, it's not using I, it's using, like, he. Third person limited. Yeah, probably. The wound has not healed yet. I cannot hope for supply of magical energy from my master. But still, there will be no hindrance in battle. Those two things are both hindrances. Confirming her own ability, she returns her gaze to the moon. What, is the moon the source of your power? That's why it's type moon. She has no more interest in the shed her master is sleeping in. Well, what if someone tries to kill Shiro in the middle of the night? Will you be alerted to the boundary field? I guess, to be fair, Rin could protect him, but still. As she has taken arms, the only thing in her is the will to defeat her enemy. Yeah, this isn't... Yeah, if this was her about her proving herself, it would be somewhere in this inner monologue. There's nothing about proving herself. It has nothing to do with proving herself. She just really, really, really wants to do some stuff. The moon glooms. Aw, is the moon sad? The moon is sad that Saber is taking this action. The moon feels disappointed. Give me your character sheet, you're not lawful! Just as a large cloud covers the sky, Saber jumps over the wall of the house. Oof. She runs through the darkness. The Silver Knight runs through the sleeping town. Oh, jeez. How long are we going to follow this for? There is only one destination, the sacred mountain on the outskirts of town, the Ryudo temple located on top of it. Are we going to follow... I was thinking we would cut away. Well, then again, oh gosh, maybe we'll follow her for a long time. I was thinking we'd cut away, and then we'd wake up as Shiro and find out the aftermath the next day. But maybe not? Even Saber understands how hard it will be to single-handedly kill the master at the temple. But you're still going to try because you really want to make some goddamn progress, and you're looking at your situation and you're being like, my master sucks. Let's ignore the fact that I have potentially a good teammate in Rin and Archer. Now let's ignore that because I got to focus on me winning. I suppose it's true that eventually you have to deal with Archer, so I don't know. As Shiro says, it's obvious she will suffer great injury. In the worst case, she'll be the one killed. Yes, and that's, I think, part of what also Shiro wanted to avoid. Don't die in another Grail War. Actually win this time, maybe. Maybe. But what kind of a servant would she be if she couldn't do something like this? One that obeyed her master's wishes? The lawful type of servant? Shiro isn't the main character. From now on, we randomly switch between random characters. Oh, yeah, but... freaking game would have gone on for a long time if that were the case. This also wouldn't be called interlude. I do think switching between random characters would be more along the lines of what Fate Zero did. Fate Zero was very much multiple perspectives, constantly swapping. This is very much focused on one person, although these interludes are definitely interesting. Anyways. The servant is supported by their superior abilities and the pride that they have built up. Don't use that word, pride. Frickin' Tosaka's a pride person. You don't be a pride person. Kill that pride. They have pride as heroes and confidence that they are the strongest, who have fought through many battles. Yes, and you're all servants, which means you should all have some of that moolah, so why are you thinking you're more poopy than any other poop? She is a heroic spirit passed down and honored from the ancient times, so defeat will not be acceptable no matter who the enemy is. The enemy will be another servant, likely passed down through ancient times. But your logic does not hold. Lawful.
I am the law unless I do what I want.
That's a little more chaotic, but also that might be lawful evil, but definitely not lawful good. No, even imagining defeat is unforgivable.
Even if you apologize, I'll never forgive you.
Even though some childish parts remain, she is no exception. Aw, some childish parts remain? Did she never fully grow up? Well, when the servants are summoned, I'm assuming they're being summoned in their strong forms. Like, even if they died at an old age of, like, 70, I'm assuming they don't get brought back as, like, a 70-year-old. But because of how short she is, maybe she's actually genuinely young because she died young? Maybe. Possibly. So maybe that shows where some of her childishness comes from. I didn't actually think of it from that perspective. The idea that she was just childish in general, because she died rather young, potentially. I don't know exactly the interpretation of the lore they're using, but because she is crowned with the name Saber, more than just that, she cannot ignore her pride. Oh, it is pride? Fuck you. Fuck pride. Her pride will not allow her to just observe when faced with an enemy. It is pride? Ah, I liked it better when you were just going super hard for your wish. Pride? BS. I think you're lying to yourself that it's pride. It's because you just want your wish really badly. Therefore, she will not falter no matter what kind of trap is waiting. Well, you don't have to falter sometimes. The trap is just good enough. Like, sometimes there's no saving throw. It's just a power word death that was hiding on the chest. If you didn't check for traps, you're just dead. That's all there is to it. And all she can do is challenge by herself. I mean, granted, I'm sure she'll check for traps, but still, what if she rolls a natural 1? Because that's how life works, right? If they say there's no chance of victory, she'll create one with her own sword. That's what you call recklessness and overconfidence. Renee's excuse when anything contradicts his prediction is, it's a lie! Well, I mean, yeah. Not always. Sometimes I'm willing to be like, oh, so that's how it is. But, like, no, I don't like it. I don't want Saber to be prideful. I thought she wasn't prideful. I liked her more when she wasn't prideful. Gosh, icky pride. I already have my pride heroine of choice. That's Rin. I don't need a second pride heroine. The sword in her hand is a fine sword that has defeated many foes, even if most don't see it. As she has the invisible air, there is nothing for her to fear. You're lying to yourself. This is you lying to yourself. This is third person limited, and this is what you think you think, but it's not what you are. It's not the truth. It's just what you think. She runs through the mountain pass and up the road to the temple. What awaits her after the mountain pass are great stone stairs. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. Here we go. This is different from the Ryudo temple she remembers. Funny, I don't remember it at all, but I'll take your word for it that it showed up at some point. The air is stagnant. The wind is dead. Ooh, and this music again. We can have a fighty fight? The ley line of this land is already contaminated. This place is a land of death. Once entered, no one will be able to exit alive. So, don't enter? Dash. Oh my god. There's no hesitation. Jesus, cheese and crackers. Frickin'. You're supposed to do the things that I tell you to do. Your alignment is lawful. Gosh. Look, I'm not saying a character can't disobey their alignment, but when they do something like this, they cannot keep that alignment anymore. Status screen needs to update it. No more lawful. Gosh. I guess it is an odd situation to be thrust in with such a bad master. Maybe it finally got to her. Maybe you were okay with the bad master because you felt like he was at least sort of on your side. But now that he's like, no, I'm a bad master, but I'm also disagreeing with you. It sort of made you snap to an extent, maybe. Maybe. I'm just scared for what's going to happen here. I don't think Saber's going to die. Unless I chose the wrong path, and this is one way of getting a bad ending. Maybe. Game over. But doesn't the Tiger Dojo usually involve Shiro dying? Because if Saber goes in alone and just dies without Shiro there, what happens? Don't answer that. I'm curious, what happens? Is that even a possible? I hadn't considered that. I assume every bad ending would be Shiro's death. However, the way this is going out, if Saber was to die, I don't know. Maybe Saber would have her own version, not the Tiger Dojo, but some other dojo for Saber when she fucks up and dies, and it's not Shiro that dies. Interesting things to think about. There's no hesitation. Oh yeah, maybe Ilya comes and kills him if Saber dies. Yeah, we'll just assume Ilya always kills him. I don't know. Maybe. In which case, you're being selfish, frickin' Saber. You gotta stay and protect me so that Ilya doesn't kill me in alternate bad futures where you die. Saber's speed does not drop one bit as she runs up the steps. She runs through the scene. The sound of her kicking the stone steps echoes in the air. Don't make echoing sounds. Don't alert people to your presence. And the mountain starts to squirm noisily. They are long stairs. The temple gate is far away even for Saber, who's running like an arrow. To run such a long distance without being detected is impossible. There will certainly be a surprise attack. Okay, and at least you're aware of that and are waiting for it. The gate should not be easily reached. But no matter what scheme awaits, the only thing to do is defeat it in advance. Okay, how many thoughts do you have in advance? How good are you at speed chess? Nothing can stop her now. Even if Berserker appears, she will break through it. Okay. That's overconfidence a little bit, I think. If Berserker appears on top of everything else, then you're fucked as far as I'm concerned, but sure. That is the product of her determination and confidence. I believe this is what they call overconfidence, incorrect determination, stupidity. At the top, yeah, I've never taken Saber until now as the reckless type, but the servant doesn't fall through too far from the master, I suppose. Yeah, it's interesting. I hadn't really thought of her from this point of view, this perspective. For so long, I thought I understood. Saber's been so passive this whole war. She hasn't really made any big moves on her own. Well, beyond the fact that she told Shiro, you wait here, I'm going to go kill Rin outside. And she almost did, and we had to stop her. And that's true, that was a pretty big move. The fact that she hasn't gotten a chance to do any big moves since then would maybe irk her, but... the pride thing. Well, I guess that goes in tow with people thinking you're a guy and you actually being a girl, and then when people find out you're a girl, they're like, no, you're... It's more than just having enough of someone's shit. It's a deep-rooted psychological issue that needs to be resolved if we're going to get anywhere in this Grail war. And, you know, assuming you get out of this alive, it's something that's definitely going to need to be resolved. Because if it isn't, this will cause problems. The servant and the master should work together. When she's about to reach the temple gates, that obstacle appears. What do we got? That looks like a saber. Oh, geez. Well, you look like a servant. You have a saber, but I'm Saber, so... Assassin? If you're assassin, then you're a weird assassin for not just attacking out of nowhere, for actually showing yourself to me and not, like, you know, going for an assassination. But maybe you're, like, one of those assassins that's like, I will make my presence known to you, then kill you without you noticing. I guess those kind of assassins exist. Saber stops. Honestly, I would bet Ryder. If I'm being completely honest, if we didn't have reason to think that Ryder is Ryder and not Ryder, I would think this is Ryder because, I don't know. This looks like a get-up from the... It looks like a Ryder get-up. I'm going to judge a book by its cover for a second and say this looks like a Ryder get-up more than an assassin get-up, to be honest. But between assassin and caster, this is definitely assassin. However, to me, I would peg this as Ryder and what we know as Ryder as caster or assassin. Like, I'd swap them. But because we already have a Ryder who seems to be cemented as Ryder, I guess this is assassin. Even she, determined to beat any enemy, is surprised by this enemy. A natural motion. The gallant figure of the man that appears is far too lacking in enmity and unbelievability, free of any openings. Also, the question is, the woman who apparently Ryudo was talking about at the temple, the issue, was that a servant or was that a master? That's the thing, because if that's a master, then maybe it's just one pair. But if that's a servant, then maybe that suggests two pairs, like a team-up. A gallant figure of a man that appears far too lacking in envy and unbelievably free of any openings. Well, I mean, with a big sword like that. You! Stopping, Saber readies her invisible sword. Oh shit, sword on sword action! I wanted to be Saber, goddammit! I got thrust into the writer/assassin role. It sucks. I'm way better as being Saber. I would have gotten way better qualities. The man with the moon at his back wards off Saber's killing intent as if it was just a light breeze.
Samurai ka.
A samurai? You didn't get the Saber class. Wah wah wah. She must be surprised by an opponent she has heard of, but never seen before. Wait, are you... Okay. There are plenty of samurais. Do you know this person? Should they just get added to our status screen? Don't you be a pooper. Oh, we still have the access to our status screen, even though we're not Shio right now. That's a little silly. Oh, of course, Sephiroth. That makes sense. The long sword. He does look like Sephiroth, to be honest. Sephiroth, but blue hair. And no wings. Her second Holy Grail war. Even for she, who's seen many heroic spirits, this is a first for a servant like this. First in what way? That they are someone you're aware of? That's not true. Dash, 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 dash. Sweat forms on Saber's brow. Not because of fear, but because it is incomprehensible. It's not as if there haven't been strange servants like him before. Okay, so what's getting to you?
Is he hot? Is he hot to you? Is your female boner aching?
After Shiro and getting some experience with the idea of emotions with other people, maybe you're emotioning with him? There should be no servant more mysterious and suspicious than Archer from last time. Oh gosh, my assumption is that Archer is someone from her lore, and so she knows to an extent who Archer is, but she's going to keep it from us in her inner monologue because, I mean, to be fair, it's not important at the moment, but that means Archer can't show up because he does, then Saber would probably think something about it. Yeah, shit. You're just saying that just because of blue hair, Sephiroth plus Shinji. It could be Sephiroth plus anyone in this game with blue hair, like Lancer. Sephiroth plus Lancer. Should be no servant more mysterious and suspicious than Archer from last time. From last time. Yeah, how convenient of a way to put it. Her first Holy Grail war? I don't think... Oh. I didn't click on that. Oh, Archer from last Holy Grail war. Oh, okay. I was thinking... I mean, to me, this would make plenty of sense even if she was talking about Archer from this time. Because, you know, all the amnesia and shit. Whatever, both Archers are mysterious. Doesn't matter. In comparison to that, the servant in front of her has no fearful aspects, nor a fearful weapon. I mean, that sword is really freaking big. This is why it's strange. Nothing can be felt from the man. There is no doubt that he is a servant, but there is no sense of any magical energy, nor a hero's noble phantasm. Okay, maybe that's because he's an assassin and good at hiding his energy or something. So beating him should be easy. But it won't be. It is true that this match would be over in one blow. What if it's an illusion? What if it's actually Caster doing this, and this whole visage is an illusion that's part of someone else's technique? Or part of Assassin's technique? That would sound like a Caster-like thing, but apparently their abilities can overlap, so... But her instincts tell her this. Do not underestimate him. Don't be a Rin about the situation. Don't be a Rin. Oh, that's a new term we're going to use. Don't be a Rin. Don't be a toe sucker. The servant has a way to seize a certain kill. Sounds like an assassin. She cannot approach. It could be said that the range of the man's weapon, the Japanese katana, is hard to judge, but above it, Saber's location is at a disadvantage.
He has the high ground.
Above and below the stairs. Oh, yeah. What separates Saber from Rin? Saber's got a spider sense. That's true. Calling all Spider Rider. Rider should have gotten the spider sense. Then I get to make that joke, and it'd be funnier. Above and below the stairs. There's about 5 meters between them. She would certainly receive that sword before she could run up and rush him. But nothing can be felt from that sword. I mean, you don't know that. You haven't felt it yet. Oh, you mean magic-wise? It should be easy to repel it. Okay. So she should not hesitate and rush in, but Saber instinctively understands she cannot close in without care. Because of that spider sense, that's true. That's true. The instincts aren't bullshit. It's been explained in her status page. She adjusts her stance slightly and glares at the enemy in front of her. His identity is unknown, but she should at least determine the class of the samurai. I mean, from your perspective, there's not many left, right? You've seen Lancer, you've seen Berserker, apparently you've supposedly Shiro saw Rider. It's either Assassin or Caster. There's no way this is Caster. I mean, who could it be? I mean, I guess you want to be sure that nobody's lied to you about their identities, so maybe that's a possibility, but based on process of elimination, it's obviously Assassin.
Kiko, その身はいかなるサーバントか?
I ask of you, which servant are you? Are you, noble enough to answer? Saber asks, not expecting an answer. With a smile. Oh, God.
アサシンのサーバント、佐々木小次郎。
Servant assassin. Sasaki Kojiro. Kojiro! Sasaki Kojiro. Well, that's what I thought. That just leaves one servant unaccounted for, supposedly. Unless Rider's actually Caster and there's a different actual Caster. Or a different actual Rider.
What if I turn the voice off just to bug you, Banana?
No, I'm just kidding. The servant says so as if singing. Sasaki, more like Sasaki, like Sasuke, like Sasuke. Eh?
何ですか?
Oh, God, cool music. It's only natural for Saber to be surprised. Why? Because she knows the name? Let your ovaries? Ooh, that sounds a little too naughty. Servants should hide their identities. Oh yeah, that's right. He didn't just say I'm an assassin. He gave away the identity straight up. What is with people in doing that? Frickin' Ilya gave away berserkers. Frickin' ball dicks. Where in the world would you find a servant that just comes out with it himself? Well, I at least know where a master would just come out. That was the master, though. That was the master with Berserker not having any say in the matter. Berserker, if he was sane, probably been like, don't tell them who I am. Then he's pretty easy to know who he is because Heracles is pretty darn popular. But, where in the world will you find a servant that just comes out with it himself?
Kisama,
what are you? Ooh, Kisama. Rude. I know some Japanese, as I've said, so Kisama, that's not a very nice thing to say.
何をとは物
As
騒
he
だな。
says.
立ち会いの前に名を明かすのは当然であろう。それが、そなたのように見目麗しい相手ならばなおのこと。だというのに、そのような顔をされるとは心外であった。
Okay, clearly there's a meme I'm not getting. You guys are spamming Regend. Regendo! I'm sure there's going to be some English, and it's going to be great, but you're spoiling the English, guys. It's rude to ask like that. It's only natural to name oneself before a match, is it not? All the more so if the opponent is a fair one as you are. Oh God, we got a ladies' man. I would not expect for you to make a face like that. Assassin. The man who calls himself Sasaki Kojiro continues, as if enjoying Saber's confusion. Does Saber know Sasaki Kojiro or not? Saber surely does not know. You mean you don't know Sasaki Kojiro? That this servant is a swordsman who wielded a katana called... Wait. Saber surely does not know that this servant is a swordsman who wielded a katana called Mohoshiza... Okay, I gotta speak Japanese. Do I speak Japanese? Monohoshizao. That's weird. That does not roll off the tongue well. Monohoshizao. And was often rumored to have no match in this large world. No, what would change even if she knew? Wait, so Saber doesn't know, but nothing would change if she did know. Okay, this is weird kind of narration perspective. His birth is unknown, even his existence is uncertain. And now the narrator, though, is saying he doesn't know, despite knowing that he's using the katana Monohoshizo. That's just all kinds of confusing. His story was only taught through word of mouth. There was only one who knew the existence of this swordsman, that being the worthy rival of the rare skilled swordsman, the one being his only enemy who defeated the man called SASAKI. KOJIROU! It's secretly Shinji because you used Shinji's voice? I did not use Shinji's voice, gosh dang it. Okay, okay, look, here, his voice is... Okay, where was the thing he was saying? It's rude to ask like that. Is it only natural to name oneself before a match, is it not? All the more so if the opponent is fair as one as you. Now here's Shinji's voice. What was Shinji's voice? Fuck. It's rude to ask like that. It's only now. Okay, now I gotta make it lighter toned now that I have him in the picture. Oh shit. It's rude to ask like that. It's natural to name oneself before. Nope, nope. You're goddamn it. Maybe they were the same voice. Nope. I don't believe it. I need to see Shinji to picture him in my mind's eye and do the Shinji voice. It's rude to ask like... It's rude to ask... God, what's the Shinji voice? Now this is gonna bug me. I gotta see his smug face for a second. Mato Shinji. It's different though, because now I'm thinking he might be a bit more innocent than I was thinking in the past, so his voice changes a bit. Yo, it's rude to ask like that, you know. It's rude to ask like that, you know. My name is Mato Shinji. Yeah, Mato Shinji. Versus... I'm Mato Shinji. Versus... It's rude to ask like that. It's deeper. It's deeper. There's a level difference. Anyways. His birth is unknown. Even his existence is unknown. His story was only told through word of mouth. There was only, What? Oh, was it an actual dental link? Was it an accidental link? Oh, I thought you posted a spoiler and Wiseful deleted it. Oops! It was an automatic delete because when I'm using my creator chat, I know because of because it tells me that stuff. But when I'm looking at this through my alt account chat, it just tells me it was deleted and doesn't say what the cause was. That being the worthy rival of the rare skilled swordsman, the one being his only enemy. So somebody killed him, and that's the only person that would know any of his stuff because he's so secretive. So that's what makes him an assassin. I understand. I think I understand. Okay. Gotcha. So, he's a very good swordsman, but he's more of an assassin because he kills people so that no one can ever spread word of mouth of his greatness. One cannot call this person a hero. Well, I mean, the Grail clearly did because these are all supposed to be heroic spirits. The servant assassin. Sasaki KOJIROU is an existence quite unlike Saber. Okay. What servant would know the skills of a swordsman who is usually not treated as a hero? But do you know? There are only two truths in front of her right now. That this man in front of her is her enemy, and that he has given his name. Did you get banned? No, I can still read your chat just fine. You were timed out. If you were banned, you wouldn't be able to post anything. I would know. I've been banned from someone's chat. Somebody banned me because I said the term female. And so if you try to type anything in the chat when you're banned, it doesn't go through. It says, you cannot chat, you're banned. So you would know if you were banned. There are only two truths in front of her right now. That this man in front of her is her enemy, and that he has given his name.
You
have me. It is the etiquette of a knight for me to introduce myself if I am given your name. Really? Really, Tom? You really felt like trying that by posting a link? Yes, that does delete your messages. Because, anyways, jeez. It's the etiquette of a knight for me to introduce myself if I'm given your name. I mean, wait, what? Oh, I see. Okay. You gave me your name, so she's going to give him the name. Saber's voice in reply is heavy. Wait, you're actually going to reply and say your real name? Ooh, that is extremely lawful. Ooh, that's too lawful. Was that all part of his plan? Probably not. He seems not the type. He seems too suave. Too suave. I don't trust the suaveness. No one's allowed to be suave except for me, Renegade. Because I'm the one who gets all the ladies. And if you're suave, that means you're a ladies' man by default. You can't just be a suave non-ladies' man. For her, it is too risky to state her true name. Okay, so you're not going to state her name? She cannot reveal her true name no matter what torture she receives. She has no intention of revealing it. Oh, so you're not going to do that. Never mind. Fuck honor. But that is only for the sake of victory. She cannot disgrace the faith of the knight for such a thing. Is he a knight, though? More of a samurai, of an assassin variety at that.
小次郎と言いましたね。
You called yourself Kojiro.
アサシンのサーバントよ。
Servant assassin. I am. Tashiwa. Ooh.
よい。名乗れば名乗り返さねばならぬ相手であったか。
Stop. I see. You're the kind that must introduce yourself in return if given my name. Mm-hmm. And you don't want unfair advantage? You want to give other people unfair advantages, but you don't want them to... Yeah. Shinji in disguise? Oh, of course. Shinji grows up to be Lancer, but he also grows up to be... Maybe he grows up to be both. Maybe there's some other blue-haired kid we're not... Oh, wait. Ryudo! Ryudo grows up to be Lancer. Shinji grows up to be this guy. Because this guy's a ladies' man, it seems, I guess. Based on the suaveness.
いや、無粋な真似をしたのは私であった。
No. It was I who was rude. Clank. Assassin descends the stairs elegantly and confronts Saber. Oh, shoot!
そのようなことで敵を知ろうとは思わぬ。我らにとって敵を知るにはこの刀だけで十分であろう。
I do not intend to know my enemy like that. For us, these swords shall be enough to know our enemies. Learn through sword battle. Then why did you give your name anyways? Seems backwards.
違うか、セイバーのサーバントよ。
Am I wrong? Servant Saber?
One eye? The other eye, does it never open? Where's your eye patch?
No. To be fair, I mean, she's wearing a knightly outfit, so it seems I would think most people would look at that and recognize that as one of the it looks saberish, I'm not gonna lie. But they wouldn't, even if they didn't see the sword. But the way they're holding it, they were still holding their invisible sword, I think. Oh, he knew he had nothing to reveal by revealing his ID because he's such an unknown hero? Wouldn't it still affect the status screen, though? And my book? How does this stupid OP book work? Takes Issei's glasses off. Spitting image of...
そう驚くこともあるまい。貴様の持つそれが何であるかは分からぬが、身にまとった殺気は剣士のもの。
It should not be that surprising. I do not know what it is you are holding, but the pressure on your body is that of a swordsman. Oh yeah, Shiro's not here, no status change. That's right, Shiro has the book.
目がくらむほどの美しい剣気。その貴様がセイバー以外の何者であろうか。
That dazzlingly beautiful aura of swordsmanship. Who else could you be but Saber? Saber. Saber des? Another step. Assassin descends the stairs and directs the point of his sword at Saber. Oh shoot, we getting low? We got some low frames? Nah, it's okay. It's a visual novel, I guess. I should definitely stop soon. I was gonna get to the interlude, but now I'm realizing the interlude is probably kind of long. So... I want to get to some kind of beat. Let's go a little bit further.
神明など知らずともよい。ただ、セイバーというサーバントがこの刃に敗れるだけの話だ。
I do not care about your true name. There will only be the fact that Servant Saber suffered defeat by my sword. Stop never? What, just stream non-stop? No, I think I can't do it non-stop wise. You gotta find something to do other than watching fake streamers and let's players all day.
言葉で語るべきことなど皆無。もとより、サーバントとはそういうものであろう。
There is nothing to discuss. From the beginning, servants are such beings, are they not? Stop when I'm dead? No, how dare you? Don't even jinx it. The swordsman smiles happily. Wait, no. That was in her monologue.
それは確かにその通りです。
Certainly, that's true. However, Shikashi wa... Answering, she readies her sword close to her.
それでよい。
That's good.
では、果たし合おうぞ、セイバー。
Let us duel.
Saber.
サーバント随一と言われるその権威。しかと見せてもらわねばな。
I must cede your sword skills, said to be the best among all Savanto. Oh shit, and then they fight. The silver light jumps. Oh, that's a little bit of an anticlimax. I expected a bigger, like, you know, hardness and softness. The fight between two very different swordsmen begins under the moonlight. Interlude out. That's where you end? I didn't think we were going to get to the interlude. Wait, that's when you... It's status and weapons update? Ah! Ha! Nandesu ka? Nande kore? So, I wanted to end when we got to the end of the interlude. I just didn't expect the end of an interlude to be such a goddamn cliffhanger. Okay, I want to get a little bit further. What's the status, Shinshiro? Not the actual status. I'll check that later. I wake up with a burning pain in my chest. I feel like I've had an ominous dream. What, did you dream of the interlude? Trippy. My chest hurts. Oh, is it because you're connected? Like, that's right, because when you got super hurt and Saber had to recover you with her own stuff. So maybe when she gets hurt, you get hurt. Maybe you're like connected now because of what happened with Berserker. Possibly. Feels like my heart is hot. No, it's more like forcibly having been driven into my heart from outside. Outside? A small doubt. Before I think what it could be, my body starts to run. So is this some kind of... to be fair, they are supposed to be connected at some point because of, like, the whole thing that flows between them. More like forcibly being driven into my heart from outside. Outside? I see. Okay. That's one way to wake you up. Hey, doing it this way, you don't need soccer to wake you up. Nice! Should do this more often. I open the Fusuma and rush into the room Saber should be sleeping in. She's not here. Don't tell me she... No, it has to be. So what are you going to do about it? Do you follow her? Do you use a command spell to warp her away? She would hate that. If she's not here, she must have gone to Rito Temple by herself. God. Is Rin going to help me? Hey, Rin, do you want to help me? Or are you going to make me go by myself? Is she even going to ask Rin? I would ask. I'd be too much of a pussy to go alone. Idiot. Why? You're not fully healed, so why? Wow, for once, Shiro's calling an idiot, and I agree with him. For once, I'm not calling Shiro the idiot. I see all those emotes. I'm so angry, it gives me a headache. I didn't say I don't want to fight. I think you made the right call. I think I made the right call. I made the call. I made the right call. Saber did a stupid thing. She's being a stupid. Didn't want her to be hurt like that. No, it's not about the hurt. Maybe for you it's about the hurt. For me, it's smarter than that. I'm a big thinker more than that. So, it's more complicated, and for you it's just about the hurt because you're a dingus. And you can only think about your penis, and that it wants to be in her vagina. Her ghost vagina. Yeah. Nothing will happen sitting here. So, even though I said no, I'm forced to go anyways? I have to hurry to Rito Temple. God damn it, do my choices mean nothing? Frickin' Rin leads me around. Shiro finally does something that shows his position as master and taking charge, and fucking Saber doesn't go along with it like a bitch. Okay, I'm sorry, that's a little rude. To be fair, Shiro revealed Saber to everyone without her acknowledgement, but I mean, I don't think she cares about stuff like that. She cares about the battle. It's not really, you know, taking charge unless it's something they don't want. If they agreed to it, then there's no taking charge. If they're indifferent, it's kind of taking charge, but only a very minor, sense. I thought we were playing Undertale, but all along we're playing Deltarune? I can't let Saber fight alone. No, I don't know what good I'll be even if I go there. But there should be something I'm able to do. Gosh dang it, really?
あいつめ女の子なんだからもうちょっとおとなしくしてろってんだ
There's some of that tried and true Shiro sexism. Geez, you're a girl, so be more obedient. Be the house life like you're supposed to be. I run. I ran so far away. Didn't get there in time. I run outside without changing, take out the bike near the entrance, and start to pedal with all my might. That's right, Shiro bike time! Has Shiro ever used a bike? I guess he could. I just don't think he's done it before. In the narrative, at least. But I guess it makes sense that he could. He's a big mechanic head, so he's probably fixed an old bike and he's using that. Oh yeah, and also Shiro's kind of an anger person. He has anger problems, right? So I guess that's what happens when he shows his anger. The sexism comes out. Probably he needs to vent in some way. Right now he's just venting his words because there's no one to vent at. I go down the hill with no brakes. About 40 minutes to Rito Temple, even if I hurry. I don't know when Saber left, but I have to catch up to her, and every minute counts. Aw, jeez. If every minute counts, then it'll suck if I have to wait until tomorrow. Well, I don't, because I'm going to keep going for now. You thought I was going to end it there. You thought I was going to end it there. Wait, interlude again? Wait, oh, are we going back? Oh, is this going to be a thing? What the fuck? The points of the swords cross! Ah! Oh, I didn't think it was going to be going back and forth. Okay, this is cool. Nice. Okay. I didn't think we'd get multiple perspectives like that in a visual novel like this, but they're doing it. They're doing it. The swords are swung many times. Numerous blows. The swords and the katana repel each other, scattering sparks. Oh! Slashy slashes. The session, yeah, I know, it's been going on long, don't tell me about it. The session of more than a few dozen blows does not change the position of the two. It's not been more than a few dozen hours, how dare you? Assassin, positioned above, does not retreat even a step. And Saber, trying to ascend the stairs, is unable to draw near and uselessly waste the time and... So, like, Saber... Oh, man. So she's the one coming at him? And he's blocking everything. That would make sense. She's very impatient at the moment. It would make sense that she makes the first move. I mean, to be fair, he dissented to her, but then she's the one who struck, I think. Which would make sense. Mm-hmm. Hop! that was odd. The hop! Saber rushes in again. Assassin swings his longsword without difficulty and defends completely against Saber's charge. No, it isn't as simple as defending. Usually assassins are the ones who attack, you know, just not telling you how to do your job, but... If Saber's sword is lightning, Assassin's sword is a hurricane. Even though it does not match Saber in speed or power, its elastic tracks purges every blow. And the counter increases speed and flows towards Saber's neck like a strong wind. But Saber's supposed to be the wind. Oh, slish slash, shickety slash. When Saber steps in again after avoiding the attack, the sword she has avoided comes in again her at no time. In contrast to the straight path, Saber's sword takes Assassin's sword takes a curved path. It's called wiggly woggly. That makes sense for an assassin. I mean, an assassin's path should be curvy unless it's going to be quick. If it's quick, it can be straight. But if it's going to be slow, then it's got to be curvy so it can actually assassinate. Because if it's straight and it's slow, then you're just being a regular swordsman. You're not doing any assassinating. Assassin's blade is graceful, but since it moves in an arc, it does not take the shortest route. So she shouldn't be able to... He shouldn't be able to make it in time against Saber's sword moving in a straight line. There's something about Assassin that reduces the difference to fate 0! Curvy! But which one? Which one's Kirby? The charge stops. Her sword won't make it in time against his sword's counterattack. Wow, so this assassin seems kind of dope. Because, like, Saber, when she got the drop on Archer, Archer got wrecked. Also, Saber did really good against Lancer. Saber only had trouble against Berserker because Berserker's OP as shit. So this guy definitely seems like he's hot shit. To be fair, Saber is weakened, but Saber's also Saber, and Saber's the best servant, yada yada yada. She steps back, knowing that the only way she can avoid it is to retreat. Uh-oh! This is a nice song. I'm only just now noticing it. Yeah. It's catchy. It does sound ninja-y. It sounds... It reminds me of some of the Naruto OST. Nice. Assassin's Swordplay is fascinatingly beautiful, but at the same time it's so fast that it's hard to follow. Is that contradiction because of Assassin's skill, or the unfavorite position of attacking someone on higher ground? Well, it being unviewable might make sense from Shiro's perspective, but from Saber's, it's weird. Without a definitive answer, she avoids the sword pursuing her and parries the point, trying to pierce her neck. Oh! Dash, 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 dash! There wasn't that many dashes, actually. I'm sorry, I overdashed. I overcompensated for dashes. When she notices, she has retreated a few more steps. It's such a long sword. It should be easy to go inside. Go inside on him. Him going inside you. Sex jokes. It should be easy to go inside on him once she has parried it away once, but she somehow cannot manage to do so. Words. The enemy's excellent skill on the definitively disadvantaged ground. The definitive defense. Saber bites her lips, thinking she would not have this much trouble with that long sword on flat ground.
さすがにやりにくいな。見えない剣というものがこれほど厄介とは思わなんだ。
I guess this is what you get when two people think big of themselves. One person, being like, wow, you're pretty good to keep up with me, and the other person's like, you're pretty good to keep up with me. It's indeed hard to fight against. I did not imagine Invisible Sword to be this troublesome. Oh god, it's happening. I didn't think it would happen for a Japanese person. I know this goddamn voice. I think I do. Maybe I don't. Usually, I recognized Rin's voice pretty immediately as Mayo from Ever 17, but I'm not nearly as familiar with Japanese actors as I am with English actors, but this one seems to be tickling a funny bone for me. Assassin does not move. For him, this is only a battle of defense. He has no need to chase the retreating saber without reason, nor forsake his advantage of higher ground. I have the high ground, Anakin!
見れば刀を見ることさえ初めてであろう。
Wait, that's not the voice I thought it was. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I don't recognize it. All Japanese people sound the same, right? Not only do they look the same, but they sound the same? I'm sorry, what? That's irony. I don't actually believe that. Anyways, I feel like I've gotten better, actually, about distinguishing the whole, all Japanese people look the same. All Asians, because of the small eyes. I think I've definitely gotten better at distinguishing. But as far as the voice goes, it's easier to tell when you actually know the voice. I believe this is the first time you've ever seen a katana, is it not? Is it? Is it the first time Saber's ever seen a katana? What, her era doesn't have katanas? Was she before the katana time? I forget the time period of her lore versus samurais.
私の剣筋は邪道でな。
That can't be it.
波のものならば、まず一撃で首を落とす。
She said she's heard of
それを
samurais.
ここまで防ぐとは嬉しいぞ、セイバー。
Therefore, she has to know them to some extent. So, it can't be that samurais came later. Maybe just katanas weren't in style at the time of sabers. Anyways, my sword is a hearsay, and it will slice the head of one of average skill. I am happy that you have blocked this much, Seba. Seba? She was Europe, no samurai? Oh yeah, that's right. Samurai's a Japanese thing. Even though this is Fate, they're not all Japanese. I guess that's fair. Because Lancer's got the whole Ireland thing. Heracles is... I know this. I definitely know this. Hold on. Heracles is... Hold on. Heracles is... Hold on. Heracles is... Greek? Greek? I knew that. I knew that. Heracles is Greek. Lancer is Irish. Saber she does seem kind of British. I don't know if she's British, but she's European. But, this guy, yeah, he's got that Japanese feel. It's weird. It feels out of place. People in the Grail War shouldn't be Japanese. We should be summoning them from all over. It's so boring if we as Japanese summon the Japanese. Ooh, stretch. Somehow knows of them. I don't think she knows of them because of the Grail giving info. I don't think the reason she knows because of the Grail info. That has nothing to do with it, I don't think. That would be only relevant if she was summoned into the time of the samurai, to my understanding. I think the reason she knows of the samurai isn't because the Grail's info. It's because there were samurai and she knew of them, but she wasn't in the area. That makes sense. Because that was a Japanese thing, not really so much of a British thing. Or at least they weren't common.
加えて打ち込みも素晴らしい。その勝負でこれほどの剣撃を行うからには、さぞ鍛え抜かれた全身であろう。
The voice certainly sounds chocolatey. I can see how someone would really like it. And on top of that, your drive is marvelous. You're able to do so much with that small body of yours. Your body must indeed be very well trained. As he has no need to keep attacking, Assassin observes Saber calmly. Even if samurai is part of pop culture, I don't think it matters. I think what matters isn't pop culture, but culture. I only think the Grail gives culture and not pop culture. Banana. His sword wavers, losing strength. Oh, losing strength? Or is that just a ploy? She cannot charge as if that is an opening. There are no stances for that man. He can only use that long sword if he can swing it from any position. Okay, pop culture is called pop culture because it's not just culture. There's culture, and then there's pop culture. I don't think she got pop culture from the Grail War. I think she just got culture. There's a reason they call it pop culture and not just culture. It's because it's a subcategory of culture. And I think she just got the culture without the pop. I don't think she drinks pop. I think she drinks soda. If I'm being honest, Saber seems like a soda person to me. I do like chocolate, to be honest. I'm not a big vanilla person. I like chocolate with peanut butter. Ooh. Vanilla's okay. You know what? Okay, I won't say I'm... Here's the thing. I really like chocolate. I like vanilla. I just like ice cream in general. But chocolate and peanut butter? Oof. He can only use that long sword as long as he can swing it from any position.
どうした？これで終わりというわけではあるまい。その不可視の剣。
It cannot be that this is the end. That invisible sword is not just mere show, is it not? That invisible sword is not just mere show, is it not? That's a wrong. You did the wrong. It cannot be that this is the end. That invisible sword is not just mere show, is it? That's too many negatives. Too many negatives. You did a typo. You did a word dumb. I don't think she knows about samurai because of the Grail. I don't think so. I think she just knows about them because from her era. I suppose you can assume that they learn pop culture, but I don't think they do. I think pop culture is something they'd have to find on their own. Something to look into. I don't think the Grail just shoves all of that bullshit into their head. I think the Grail focuses on the important bits, meaning culture. Anyways. Whatever.
いつまでも減らず口を
Quit your impudent talk and stop talking in stars, Inohanyu. Too much star talk. You're getting me all confused and then you throw stars at me. The sword and the katana clash. And crash.
よし、当たりだ。
Alright, I'm correct. You're correct? Wait, what? Yosh! The longsword stops in empty space. Thumbs down? Thumbs down? Why would you thumbs down, though? Oh. Translation faux pas. Oh, that's what you said, faux pas. I thought you were saying something else. I understand now. 99% sure King Arthur would not know about the samurai, and even that a place called Japan even existed. Really? I see, I don't know my lore good enough. But, it's 3 years, you gosh dang diddly dang. I do know about Saber's lore. I know that she's supposed to be King Arthur. But, is that true? Is that only for the real world? But does that carry to the fantasy world? Maybe in the fantasy version, King Arthur would know. There's been a few different interpretations of King Arthur. So, Dark Souls with Japanese people in British medieval times. What? You just blew my mind. Dark Souls with Japanese people, British medieval times. I'd play it. Give me my Dark Souls British black medieval time. Now, why did I say black? The long sword stops in empty space. Okay, anyways, we're playing Dark Souls again, apparently. I don't know how. Oh, because of parrying? They're parrying. That's like a Dark Souls thing. I'm misunderstanding some words in my chat, so I'm just going to assume that this is like Dark Souls. Never played Dark Souls, but I'll take your word for it. Hopefully we don't die as easily as in Dark Souls. Assassin smiles and looks at his sword, blocking the invisible sword. Parries her sword, and see, parrying. That's a Dark Souls thing. I know my Dark Souls. Saber defends herself from the blow to her neck. Ellipses. Even Saber knows. That is because of her invisible sword that she is able to block Assassin's unfamiliar techniques. Okay. Well, okay, maybe King Arthur didn't know about samurai, but I don't think the Grail told her. I think maybe, just to consider this, she did research. Maybe she's been looking up on the potential, you know, what fighter-type fighty fights could be fighting. And so, therefore, she did actual research, like a smart bookie book girl. You know, don't just assume the Grail gave her all the answers. I like to think Saber is a people, too. It's because of her invisible sword that she is able to block Assassin's unfamiliar techniques. Even though, he seems to, he's correctly gauged the distance and length and all that shit of Saber's sword? Is that why he's saying I'm correct? The invisible sword confuses the opponent's senses in both offense and defense. That is why Assassin does not follow through too much. As he does not know how long Saber's sword is, it is too dangerous for Assassin to close it on Saber. I feel like he just figured it out, saying that he's correct. If Assassin even goes to attack Saber, that would be when... I see. He would be a one-shot, one-kill person being Assassin, but if he ever gets to the one-shot, one-kill thing, then Saber's in trouble. So he's still studying in time for his one-shot, one-kill. I see. Ah! Saber tries to smash Assassin's head. Uh-oh.
Let me guess. It doesn't work. Spoilers.
That'd be anticlimactic. Oh, wait, no, it worked. Assassin's out of the picture. All right, one down. That blow is perfectly dodged by Assassin, who merely retreats a bit.
よし、これで目測はついたな。刀身3尺余り、幅は4寸といったところか。形状は、セイバーの名の通り、典型的な西洋の剣だな。
He wasn't just doing that with no purpose. Every swing he took, every time he blocked, every time he did a bit of an attack, he was gauging the length and width and girth of Saber's sword, seeing how it blocked. And then he tested his theory a few times, and now he's sure. That's some good swordplay, and especially if Saber's legitimately been trying to fight, and this is her way to fighting, and she has no one-hit sure-hit kill. I mean, she's got a no phantasm, but I'm sure she's holding that. But now that he knows this, gosh, Saber may be in trouble. So much for Saber being the best servant. I see it now. The blade is roughly 3 shaku, 90 centimeters. Freaking quotes. Long and roughly 3 shaku long and 4 sun, 12 centimeters wide. Is he using those terms, or are those just Japanese terms and they're being translated in bubbles? That's odd. Roughly 3 shakus long and 4 sun wide. 3 shaku long, 4 sun wide. Okay. 90 centimeters. The shape is, like your name, Saber. It's a typical Western sword. I see. So it's a typical Western sword. Interesting. Okay. Not like the katana then. More of a European sword. Assassin is a better swordsman than Saber. Yup. He had to be put in the Assassin class, though. Actually, he didn't. He didn't have to be put, because Saber hadn't been chosen yet. Yet he got stuck with the Assassin class. That says to me his master is not very good. Because if the master was better, they probably would have got the Saber class. But they got stuck with him being forced into the lesser class, the Assassin class, because the master isn't as good. Possibly. Sugar? Oh, right. Okay. Because you have the hots for him. I get it. I understand. You're drooling. Or something. Get out, Panana, you're drunk. He talks calmly, but does not even need to be said how good his judgment is. Indignation judgment! Saber's blows are too fast to perceive, even if the sword can be seen. But not only does he defend against the invisible sword, but he has figured out its shape. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's very good. And now he's ready for his big blow. He's in trouble unless someone stupid like Shiro decides to come in. Oh, your ovaries are drunk? Ooh, ooh, ooh.
信じられない。何の魔術も使わず満足に打ち合ってもいないというのに私の剣を測ったのですか
I can't believe it. You've measured my sword without using any magic nor exchanging blows with me. It's all been defense. He was able to figure it out purely through defense, pretty much.
ほう、驚いたか。だが、こんなものは大道芸であろうよ。邪剣使いゆえ、このような技ばかり上手くなる。
Oh, are you surprised? But this is just a street performance. As I am an unorthodox sword user, I only improve on such techniques. You're an unorthodox sword user? Because you're not normally a saber? You're just using it to... Maybe you knew saber was coming, and so you picked a sword because you like beating people at their own game? No, though, you were a samurai, so I'm pretty sure that's not true. You're a sword person. You're just a weird sword person. And you're just being humble, saying you're not very good, but you're totally very good. Right, yeah. But, you know, being humble is actually kind of rude sometimes. Like, if you're really good and someone thinks you're better than them, and then you're humble, that can piss off the person for thinking that the person who's better than you is being humble when you yourself don't think of yourself as that low. So being humble can be a dick move sometimes. Depending.
なるほど。私の一撃をまともに受けず、ただ払うだけがあなたの戦いだった。邪剣使いとはその逃げ腰から来た俗称ですか
I see. It was your way of fighting not to meet any of my bows, but parry them. I see the term unorthodox comes from how much of a coward you are. Rude! Just because you're losing, you call him bad names? It's called strategy and tactics. Of course, you want nothing of that. You just want an honorable fight or whatever, and you don't care anything for the underhanded, scheming... Just let combat be combat. He's not a coward. If he wins, he wins. I mean, I don't know. I don't, like, even this isn't cowardly. He's still fighting you. He came out to meet you as an assassin. He didn't go straight for the kill. He actually said, hey, what's up? And you came at him before he could have potentially went for the kill, but he was sort of honorable about it. I think he's honorable. I think you're just extremely stretching the definition of coward because you're sad that you lost. Something.
いやいや、まともに打ち合わぬ無礼は許せ。
No. Forgive my rudeness in not locking blades with you.
何しろこの長刀だ。打ち合えば折れるは必定。お主としては力勝負こそが基本なのだろうが、こちらはそうはいかぬ。
That's fair.
その剣と組み合い、力を競い合うことはできん。
After all, saber is a saber, so her noble phantasm is just her sword. Whereas, this guy, as an assassin, he'd be more about quick stealth kills, so his sword probably, even if it is his noble phantasm, would never be as super strong as sabers in that sense. I have this long sword. It will break if I fight off your sword. It must be your style to compete in power, but I cannot do so. I cannot lock blades with you and complete strength with you. I have to compete in other ways, which is perfectly fair when it comes to combat. Wait, Saber is a sore loser and you're laughing about that? I thought you liked Saber. Now you're confusing me, Hanyu. Or are you one of those sickos who likes it when their beloved is losing? Dash.
もとより、刀というものはそういうものだ。
The katana is always such a sword.
西洋の剣はその重さと力で物を叩き切る。
Western swords cut their weight and power.
だが、我らの刀は速さと技で物を断
But
ち切
our
るのだ。
blades cut with speed and technique. Perfect for an assassin, then. To love a character, you must accept all aspects, including flaws. No, if I love them, it's because they're perfect in every way, and anything that's wrong about them, I just pretend does not exist. No. Usually when I love them, it's because intended flaws are things I look up as positives. So, but I would never look at being a sore loser as a positive.
戦いが噛み合わぬのは道理であろう。
It's no wonder our fighting styles are mismatched, is it not?
まあしかし、
He's speaking weird.
これではいささか興がそがれる。
This is somewhat unentertaining. Okay, he's done that twice now. Also, you called Saber unentertaining. Rude. Best servant. But also, he's done that twice. I think that's just the way he speaks. He speaks weird. I don't think they typoed twice in a row with the same person in the same way. It's no wonder our fighting styles are mismatched, is it not? Like, he could just say, it's no wonder our fighting styles are mismatched. But, like, the is it not, the double negative makes it weird, but maybe that's just the fancy way he speaks because of where his timeline or what he comes from. Anyways, this is somewhat unentertaining. You're boring. I want to fight someone who fights with fancy tactics.
もう良い頃合いだぞ、セイバー。いい加減手の内を隠すのはやめにしろ。
Now is a good time, Saber. Stop hiding your true power. Show me your noble phantasm. Give it all away. What if that's the trap, though?
アサシ、私があなたに手加減しているとでも。
Assassin, you're saying I'm going easy on you? Are you, Saber? Are you? Don't lie.
していないとでも言うのか。何のつもりかは知らんが、剣を鞘に収めたまま戦とは舐められたものだ。
Are you saying you're not?
私程度では
I do not know your
本
intentions.
気を出すまでもないというこ
But
と
you're
か。
taking me lightly fighting with your Shithon. Are you telling me that I am not worthy to fight seriously? I don't think it's quite that. I think, well, I mean, maybe she feels awkward about doing a sword fight with someone who's not normally a sword user, or maybe she's feeling all awkward because of the whole Shiro situation, so her mind is in two places, so it's hard for her to concentrate. That might be it. Dash. Or she just feels weird in general about this guy. Like, you know, him being the ladies' man and all. Him being so smooth. Maybe she's got the hots.
ほう。それでも応じないという顔だな。
It still seems as if you will not comply with my request. You want to release everything. Maybe you should release everything first.
よかろう。ならばここまでだ。
Oh, jeez.
お前が出し惜しみをするのなら、
Uh-oh.
先に我が秘剣をお見せしよう。
Fine. Then this is it. If you are unwilling to do so, I will show you my secret technique first. Saying so. Oh no! Bladder rising. Stress increasing. The swordsman with the long sword comes down next to Saber. To relinquish his advantage of being overhead is the same as losing for Assassin. However, Assassin is certainly a skilled swordsman, but that is only with the conditions of these geographical features. Geographical features? Only with the really? So you think that if he didn't have the high ground, this would be so much easier? I don't think it makes that big of a difference, but okay. If they're to fight on the same level, it is possible for Saber to repel Assassin's attack and slash his neck. Considering that he now knows the exact dimensions of your sword, I don't think it'll be as easy as you think. But Assassin would know this as well. So why?
構えよ。出なければ死ぬぞ、セイバー。
Be ready or you will die, Saber. Saber's instincts react to that voice. He's telling the truth. It is not advantageous at all for Saber that Assassin has come down. The instincts that have got her through numerous battles warn her of her misunderstanding. Spider sense, Saber sense. She's ready to sword at once. There's no time to hesitate. Oh, so it's supposed to be like old Japanese? Yeah, I mean, I kind of thought so, but, so it was, ending it with a question was a polite way. I could see that, because in general, in Japanese, the more you distance yourself from your statement, the more polite you're seen as being. I haven't seen using a question very often, but I wouldn't doubt that they used to do that, because it does sort of distance you from the act if you question it and ask them to assure you of the answer. Anyways, there's no time to hesitate. She only has to attack with her sword before Assassin swings his long sword. And now the interlude ends. No? Huh? Fu, haha, or fuck! There's about 3 meters of distance between them. That is a stance that the swordman has not yet shown in this battle. Oh shit! Is this the phantasm? Is this a killing blow? Is the assassin? If Lancer seemed like he had kind of an assassination technique, but if anything, this guy should have even more of an assassination technique. Secret technique, ninja art. Saber charges in. He's gonna have a no jutsu. The longsword is useless now. As long as she's inside its range, its length will backfire. But...
ツバメ返し
Tsubame Gaishi! No jutsu! Such logic does not exist with this swordsman. If that was supposed to reveal his identity to me, it didn't. The lightning strikes. Wait, no, we already know his identity. Never mind. It still didn't. An evil strike that attacks with speed overwhelming Saber. Uh-oh. Are you dead? No, only mostly dead, right? Just a flesh wound, just like with Berserker. It's not as if Saber cannot block such an attack. If she can block it, then it's not that great. Or was it a false lead? Was it a red herring? Was it not the real attack? She moves her attacking sword into defense and she repels Assassin's full power attack. Got it! Even Assassin will have an opening if that attack is repelled. In the small instance where she tries to slice Assassin's stomach, she realizes her folly. That's the real attack! It was a fake! In that instant, Saber trusts her instincts and rolls down the stone steps. Thank you, Spider Sense! Ow! She rolls down as if fleeing. Isn't that kind of... cowardly? She doesn't even soften her landing. Saber spins her body frantically and rolls down the stairs without killing her speed. Maintaining momentum. Saber Hedgehog. Saber Hedgehog. Gosh, Fate Stay Night fucking has momentum. What the fuck, Sonic? Saber stops rolling and stands back up. She stares at the swordsman standing calmly.
ほうかわしたか我が被験さすがはセイバーツバメなどとは格が違う
You dodged my secret technique. As expected of Saber, you're unlike the swallow. The who? Now are you being entertained?
信じられない。今のはまさか。
I don't believe it. That can't be. What can't be? What can't be? What do you know that I don't know?
何そう大した芸ではないたまさかツバメを切ろうと思いつき身についただけのも
It's
の
nothing much. It's just something I thought of when I'm considering how to hit swallows. Do you mean like the actual birds, or does swallow mean something I don't think it means? He raised his longsword a little, as if to trace the movement of the technique that inspired fear in Saber. Okay, isn't this sort of giving away the technique? Oh, Tsubame means swallow. Oh, I'm sorry, I don't know Japanese enough. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Kind of like how Raikiri is like piercing the lightning or whatever. Or no, it's chirping birds. It does pierce the lightning, but it's also chirping birds. Anyway, something like that. Whereas this is also a bird, but it's a swallow. Anyways, to trace the movement of a technique that inspired fear in Saber.
見えるかセイバ
Can you see it, Saber?
ーツバメはな風を受けて刀を避ける早かろうが遅かろうが関係はないどのような刀であろうと大気を震わさずには
I only got the weeb titles. I didn't get the proper,
その震えを感じ取り
I didn't get the proper English subtitles telling me what that movement. Okay, so swallow reversal. Okay, thank you for giving me the proper translation. It's like he basically could have just said, oh, according to Kakaiku. Kakaiku means plan. Swallows avoid the sword by feeling the wind. It does not matter how fast your sword is. You cannot swing a sword without shaking the air, correct? The swallows feel the shaking and change their direction of flight. So you found a way to bypass the flight? Bypass the shaking? That's kind of well, that does seem like, if anything, an assassin would be able to do it. Tsubame is... Okay, I'm going to quickly study Japanese for a second. Tsubame is swallow. Tsubame. And Gaeshi. Is it Gaeshi or Gaishi? Gaishi would be G-A-I. Gaeshi. Tsubame Gaishi. And Gaishi is reversal. Gaishi. Tsubame Gaishi. Tsubame Gaishi. Tsubame Gaishi. Who invented birds anyway? What good are they? Nice.
故にどのような一撃であれツバメを立つことはできなかった所詮刀など一本線に過ぎぬ
All according
縦横に空を行くツバメを捉えられぬは道理よな
to the dinosaur's Kakaiku, of course. No one could kill the swallows with one blow, no matter what kind of blow it was. A sword is only a straight line, after all. It is only natural for it to be unable to apprehend the swallow, which can move vertically and horizontally.
ならば逃げ道を囲めばいいだけのこと
Thus, you have to surround its escape route by swinging both at once? Interesting. Interesting idea.
一の太刀でツバメを襲い 風を読んで避けるツバメの逃げ道を続く2の太刀で取り囲む。
Use one blow to attack the swallow and use your second blow to catch the escaping swallow as it reaches the wind. Also, by the way, just saying, unless it was actually your noble phantasm, what kind of assassin actually gives names to their moves? I mean, really. You know, the Naruto characters love to give their moves names, and I assume that has to do something with their ninja magic, where if they don't say the names, it doesn't do the incantation properly. But I mean, Naruto characters aren't really ninjas, they're more like mages. But this is like, that's, you know, you being an assassin with a sword technique, having a technique, even if it has a name, why would you say it? That's so unassassiny.
しかし連中は素早くてな。この長刀ではまず2の太刀が間に合わん。ことを成したければ一息のうち、ほぼ同時に行わなければならなかった。
Maybe you finally achieved something as a
そのような真
servant
似は人の技ではない。
that you never achieved as a human. They are fast. The second blow cannot come in time with this longsword. If I wanted to get the swallows, I would have to do both attacks at about the same time. Such a thing is beyond human abilities. Thankfully, it's maybe not above servant abilities. I can't believe it's not servant.
叶うことなどあるまいと承知したものだが。
I accepted such a thing was impossible, but Demo Shikashi wa!
あいにくと他にやることもなかったのでな。
Unfortunately, I had nothing else to do. You know, Hanyu, did you type a link again by accident? Gosh. Unfortunately, I had nothing else to do.
一年寄進に通じるというが、気がつけばこの通りよ。
They say determination is key to success, but when I noticed, it was like this. Oh, Wise Fool did it. Okay. I mean, Well, okay. So be careful about saying things then. Yeah. Unfortunately, I had nothing else to do. They say determination is a key to success, but when I noticed, it was like this.
ツバメを断つというくだらぬ思いつきは、複数の太刀筋で牢獄を作り上げる秘剣となった。
A worthless idea to kill a swallow became a secret technique that creates a prison with many slashes. Interesting. Use one blow, second to catch it, but they're too fast. Such a thing is beyond humans. You had nothing else to do. Determination. Determination! Undertale! This is Undertale, not Deltarune! Worthless idea. But you made it real. You used your determination. Determination makes it into reality.
I will it, and then it is so.
In her mind, Saber disagrees with Assassin's words. It's wrong. Shigaoyo, that technique is not as simple as that. But at the same time, no. The two blows came at exactly the same time. Assassins. SASAKI KOJIROU! Oh, KOJIROU! I think that's a name for bird, so it's kind of fitting. It says Sasaki Kojirou's longsword doubled his existence just for just that instance. Doubled his existence? Well, that's fancy.
奇襲はゼルレッジ。
So you could call it the Shadow
何の
Clone
魔術も使わず、ただ剣技だけで宝具の域に達したサーバント。
Is this katana his noble phantasm? Is that confirmed? Maybe it's in our status. I still haven't checked it. Multi-dimensional refraction phenomenon. Okay, that's fancy. So that's kind of like the same thing Lancer had, right? Of a weird reality-breaking... Kinda. Kichur Zeltre... Okay, that doesn't look Japanese. That's, what, German again? Kichur Zelrech. A servant that has reached the level of a noble phantasm with mere skill. Oh, so it's not the noble phantasm. He's just that good. He got good. He does that good even without his noble phantasm. Is that what we're saying? That fact is what should be admired. That one blow made it clear. Sasaki Kojiro does not have a noble phantasm like heroic spirits have. He has only his demonic technique made possible by his godlike skills. But I'm assuming he also has a noble phantasm, right? I mean, you can't just not have a final smash. That'd be a weird balance. Even if you know, usually they ban final smashes in tournaments, so like what would they do with him? he would just have his naturally great abilities with no final smash? Seems dumb. It's impossible, but this mere human is equal to heroic spirits armed with noble phantasms. So wait, we're saying he's not a heroic spirit. He's just super dope. Is that why he doesn't have any sense coming off of him? But he was still summoned by the Grail. So the Grail just didn't... The Grail decided not to summon something that's... So, okay, I think I'm starting to understand. Normally, when you have a lot of followers, you get ranked up, and you get a lot of metachlorian levels as part of your servant. And the Grail summons strong servants. However, they don't actually have to be of a high level. So I think this is an example of a low-ranking servant who doesn't have many followers, but he's still super strong just because he was naturally super strong. And achieve this without actually needing to get a bajillion followers, because apparently not many people actually know he exists. According to the inner monologue, it says that like only one other person knows of him, the person who beat him in life, that killed him in life. So apparently he's super duper duper good. So maybe that means that, yeah, a lot of people know of Saber's lore, which is why she's so strong and it bumps her up. Whereas not many people know of his lore. So maybe what they're saying is that he's still super dope despite the fact that he's not that high of a rank. And him not being a high rank means he doesn't give off much of a presence as a servant. Like, he's still a servant, but he doesn't give off the normal... He doesn't give off nearly as much presence as one normally would as a servant. Yes, I am an analyzer. Lancer had causality warping with putting the effect before the cause. Sasaki's thing is that he's so good at swinging swords that he can just do twice at once because he's just that good. He cheats life. Sure. This mere human is equal to heroic spirits armed with noble phantasms.
だが足場が悪かったな。ツバメ返しの奇跡は本来3つ。もうわずかに広ければ横の一撃も加えられたのだが。
Eh? The foothold was bad. The Subame Gaishi. The Subame Gaishi originally has 3 slashes. If this place were a bit wider, I could have added the horizontal slash as well. Don't you want 4 though? Because if you're doing a plus sign and you add 1 more, then it becomes uneven. I feel like you need 8, because having 6, that just seems messy. If this place were a bit wider, that's suggesting things about your sword as if it's longer than it's coming off, because it's not that, the place isn't that skewed that the sword couldn't be wider. I mean, the sword couldn't be used 3 times. Imagine breaking reality because you're bored? Oh yeah, that's right, he did say, unfortunately, I had nothing else to do. I mean, gosh, back in my day, there was no anime or video games. All we could do was train ourselves, so I'm like, I guess because I'm bored. I had nothing else to do, so I guess I'll care enough to make a super awesome sword technique. First world problems.
そうでしょうね。そうでなければ不完全です。
I'd assume so. It'd not be effective without that.
すべてが同時であるなら、ミノたちはどうしても遅くなる。それを補うために、横方向への離脱を阻む3の太刀があるはずだ。
If everything is to happen at the same time, the second blow has to be slower. To compensate for that, there should be a third horizontal attack to prevent the opponent from dodging sideways. Uh-huh. But there wasn't, because this place isn't wide enough. It looks like there's a decent gap between... Whatever. I'll just take your word for it. Or I'll assume that you're full of shit and your real noble phantasm, your sword gets super long. And that's why. Maybe.
いい飲み込みの速さだ。だからこそ我が被験をかわしたか。
Ooh, her spidey sense. So she dodged through the horizontal opening. You catch on quickly. That must be why you're able to avoid my secret technique.
素晴らしいぞ、セイバー。
You're wonderful, Saber. Subarashi. Now are you being entertained?
このような属性に呼び出された我が身を呪ったが、それも今宵まで。生前では叶わなかった立ち会い。
What?
我が被験を存分に振る舞える殺し合いができるのならば。
That's odd
呼び出され
wording.
た甲斐があるというもの。
You don't have a wish? You just want a fight? You just want a good fight? That's all you care about is a good fight? Maybe you could wish for a good fight. I have cursed myself for being summoned in this world, but that will end tonight. If I'm able to battle someone I can fully use my secret attacks on, it is well worth being summoned. So all you want is to have a good fight. That's your personality. You don't even necessarily have a wish, I don't think. Your wish is to fight someone that'll give you a good challenge. Maybe because you rarely ever had a good challenge in life, you were so strong. Like, someone killed you, but they probably killed you. It was probably, I bet what it was an assassin on assassin thing. They killed you sneakily. When really, you don't want to be a sneaky sneak. You want to have good fair fights. It's just that you're so good that you always kill someone. Like, you always kill them in your fight because you're that good. So you just sort of turned into an assassin because you're that good. And you didn't really think of yourself an assassin. That just kind of popped up. So, maybe. Sort of. Assassin readies his sword once again and comes down the stairs. Oh boy. He must be after Saber's neck. Oh, the thing she said she needed to keep to not die. Saber is not confident if she'll be able to avoid that secret technique again. Now, is this when you run like a coward? Like Lancer's gay bolg. Assassins... Okay, this one's harder to pronounce. Tsubame Gashi. Nope. Gay bolg. Tsubame Gaishi. Tsubame Gaishi. Tsubame Gaishi. Yeah, it's gotta be Gaishi, because it's Gaishi, but it's like... No, it would be Gaishi, but it depends on how fast you're supposed to say it. Tsubame Gaishi. Tsubame Gaishi is something that cannot be allowed to begin. The lore is that the guy who killed him was in a real embarrassing way, because the dude showed up late in a duel, and the dude killed him with a a boat sword? Okay, I'm gonna have to read some of this stat stuff. What? That's hilarious. Oh, so you're saying he was... Oh, I see. Oh, that is unfortunate. So he was in a duel and was winning, and he... So wait, he won the duel, but he was severely injured from the duel, and somebody just snuck up on him? Is that what you're saying? Late to a duel. So, okay. I'm gonna have to read some of this lore in a second. I just kind of want to get to a beat. And by a second, I mean I'll be reading it in the next session, not now. I'm going to be reading the stats tomorrow, not today. But I want to get to some kind of beat before I stop. It's something that cannot be allowed to begin. Let's see, is Saber going to run away? That might be the beat to stop. Unlike Gay Bolg that allows you to find a countermeasure once you find out it'll go to the heart, there are no possible counters for Assassin's secret technique, even when you know about it. Allows you to find a countermeasure once you know it'll go for the heart. Yeah, because if you know it'll go for the heart, you can block the heart. But this is different. If there's a countermeasure, it's only not to let him use it. So run like the wind, or chop off his hands. To beat it, she must attack him with her strongest blow before Assassin uses that technique. This makes me think of Lancer's, what is it? Noble Phantasm is rated, it's only rated a B, and I think I know why. Because, like, with him, once you know it's the heart, you can easily block it, right? Whereas, this is different. I mean, B is still pretty good. Saber only has a C. Whereas this guy, I guess this guy's would, in theory, be an A, because it's even harder to block, but is it as strong? It might be harder to block, but it might be not as strong if it hits. And to be fair, Saber rolled out of the way, so she was technically able to dodge it, where you technically cannot dodge Lancer's Gay Bolg, so it's not a one-to-one thing. There are pros and cons. To beat it, she must attack him with her strongest blow before Assassin uses that technique. Oh, does that mean we're going to see Saber's Noble Phantasm?
なるほど。確かに手加減など許される相手ではなかったようだ。
Certainly, you're not someone I can go easy on. Oh, that seems like a big, juicy, big thing that I may have to cliffhang on because I don't know if I'm ready to deal with all that noble phantasming. She lowers her arms. She lowers her sword as if to stick it to the ground. She glares at the assassin who is approaching her.
ほう、そうか。ようやくその気になったか、セイバー。
This is even more of a juicy cliffhanger than before! You're finally ready to do so? Yeah! On the next exciting installment of Let's Play Fate Stay Night Blind! Because holy shit, I've been going we're almost 4 hours now. Holy boy, definitely the longest Fate stream so far. This to me seems like a beat. She's about to pull out her big lady vagina, and that's huge. Oh boy. Are we getting Seba Noble Phantaz? Cause that's a biggie. Save. Oh boy. Arthur versus SASAKI KOJIROU. I'm sorry. I will never not. I can never unhear the way NCS said it. KOJIROU. So yes, I'll see you guys next time. It looks like it's going to be huge. Tomorrow might be a big deal. We'll probably, I don't know. Should I start by reading the stats tomorrow, or should I get through this and then read the stats? I'll decide tomorrow. But either tomorrow's going to start super epically or super boringly with some stats. Well, that's another thing to cliffhang. Find out Schrodinger's cliffhanger. Find out next time on the next exciting installment of KOJIROU. Either fighting or stats. We'll see. Stop recording.